It looks like it's live.
All right. Welcome to another watch-along. Hopefully this one goes better than last time, which was a 6-0 hockey loss.
Well, we have a backup plan.
Well, yes, the
hockey
team
game
is also playing, but we are focusing on the basketball game between the Michigan Wolverines and the Purdue Boilermakers. I am here with dangerous Alex Drain.
Ooh. D-R-A-I-N.
And Dave.
And Dave. Just the tag-along, Dave.
So
we got Gus tonight.
Gus,
oh,
I mean,
so
this is a big one.
So can I mute it then?
Hey. Hey.
We have differing opinions on Gus.
We gotta respect the game.
I think this is a good place for Gus to be, right?
For like Friday night college basketball?
Yeah, that's a good Gus vibe.
Well, I mean, this is a big one. This is a road game at Mackey. Two of the three or four teams that are
biggest Big Ten basketball game of the year so far.
Maybe.
Probably. It's got to be right there.
You know,
I
kind of felt like the UCLA game was.
How did that end up?
No.
But Purdue's just lost to Ohio State, and they hadn't lost at home in, I think, 26 games. Is that correct? Something like that? They had like the third or fourth longest home win streak.
Well, they had a guy named Zach, and now one of the things that Purdue is struggling with is that Trey Kaufman-Wren, who's their starting center, is 6'9", and so the whole ogre business is
windmill
not quite as good, and their windmill's out for the year. They play another windmill a few minutes a game. But for Michigan, it's about staying in front of Braden Smith, who is the most lumberjack-looking point guard in America.
So who do you expect is going to be tasked with that?
I mean, they're just going to switch everything and then hope it works. Because, I mean, this is a team where I do want them to switch everything because all the actions Painter runs, I just want,
Did that say Cameron Corpy starting?
He is, yep.
Oh. Interesting. I did not see that coming.
Oh, well, we're trying to multitask.
So that is the hockey mix-in that you will get. If you are just watching basketball, there will be random hockey comments and maybe more hockey comments at the beginning because it does look like we're slightly closer to puck drop than we are to, I don't know.
Tip-off.
Tip-off. There it is. Thank you.
Like sometimes I suspect you're actually pretending to be an American. When you're like, I don't know how do you call the beginning of a basketball game? I'm like, I'm on to you, buddy.
Hockey games are
hockey did just start. So
usually it's like a minute or two after the listed time, but they're pretty good about that.
Well, when something's on like Fox or ESPN, then it's going to be about 8:15.
Well, I mean, it depends. If there's a game before it, they give it a little breathing room. If it's there's no game before it, then they give it the 5 minutes, then commercial, then game. So we're still waiting for the game part. It's refreshing that we're no longer watching gambling commercials, though.
Horkoff's up to the second line, and Moldenauer is playing. He hasn't played in a few weeks. They're sitting Fantilli and Haiti. So Tanner Rose playing defense again, Alex.
They're sitting Fantilli and Haiti?
Yeah, I mean, like, they could be hurt. Who knows?
Who knows?
We never hear any of that. But,
jeez. Is Josh Orico iced?
Orico? Yes.
Well,
he's playing and Tanner Rowe on defense. So,
jeez.
A lot of the other four tonight, other five. Felicio also playing in front of Corpy. I don't get that. Do you? Did you think after last week that you were like, all right, it's time to give Corpy another shot?
Well, so I think the plan is here. So just going to let Corpy make the first save, and then they're going to switch him.
Okay, that was well played. 3 games in a row, right?
Well, Logan Stein did have his stuff on the bench, so he had the mask on and everything. So
we were receiving a note that Haiti is not allowed to play in this game.
Oh, that's right, the DQ at the end of the game.
That was helpful in a 4-1 game.
Yeah, I know.
Thanks for that.
There's no way to know what happened because the broadcast ended.
That's right. We discussed that on the Hockey Cast where you were pounding on the table for, what is it? What's going on?
Why can't it be a stop at getting the DQ?
Oh.
That's like his whole raison d'etre. All right, we are about to start the basketball game. Standard starting lineup for Michigan.
Yeah.
I think is Caleb first a starter for them, or is that different? He is a starter? Okay.
So they have a pretty old team, sans one guy, juniors and a senior.
Yeah, I mean, but that's just...
Look at those uniforms. Wow. Those are
Cancer
bright.
uniforms. You know,
uniforms look like they have cancer.
Why does
like
every
glowing.
cancer uniform make me want to root for
Jeez.
cancer? Like, they're all hideous.
What color is that? Is that
every
like,
time it's like we're doing something for cancer, I'm like, oh.
Goal for Michigan.
Hey, all right. Is that Whitelaw?
Looks like Whitelaw in his revenge game.
Oh, yeah, this is his return to Madison, huh?
Yep.
All right.
Good. Hey, on the is that the no second shot?
Just shoots it in the
Oh.
net.
That's always a
We
good
don't-
plan.
I was wondering how you got to be the hockey guy around here.
All right, so we will
Looked like a double screen.
announce when the tip-off is happening in basketball, and we will largely focus on basketball while the basketball game is happening so that people are not driven crazy by our multitasking.
Oh,
here.
Michigan's wearing the
They're wearing some neon. Wow.
the Maze throwbacks.
Oh, yeah, those are the 89s.
All right, tip-off now.
When?
Now.
Okay,
Well,
so-
before. Now we're doing Spaceballs.
55, 54, 53, 52.
All right.
Oh, there you go. There's your pick 2 turnover to start the game. Nice.
There's our lumberjack.
There's our lumberjack.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you got to be kidding me.
Just stared him down.
Uh-oh.
Wow.
Jeez.
Okay, so someone alert Trey that the game has started, because that's back-to-back turnovers.
Not a great start.
Yikes, man. Also, was Roddy Gale even looking?
Yeah, he was trying to get the ball, but
Kind of.
the passing lane got jumped, so it's like... It's the first actual defensive possession for Michigan. You can see that Golden is just going to be playing
Oof,
massive
wide
drop
open.
coverage. Nah.
Yikes.
See, Golden is uselessly contesting there, and that leads directly to an offensive rebound. Like, he has a really bad habit of heavily contesting jumpers where he gets fouls or just gets out of position, and he doesn't really affect the shot.
Yeah, I mean, if you're in that spot, then you just need to let him shoot. Nope. Oh, it's here, isn't
That
it?
should be Michigan's. Yep.
Yeah.
Is that a woman ref?
Yes, there is a female ref in this game.
Craig is
so
very excited.
better than Paul Sells.
Shh. Don't get him started. It's going to be even harder to mute him later.
All right.
Oh, there you go. Oh, just go up.
No way.
Yikes.
That
was
That is offline.
kind of-
That is pretty bad. That's not a great start.
like a Quinn Nordine kick.
Nice little move.
Well, this is
All right, it's 6-0 again.
unless unless someone got 3 fouls already, it'd be tough to start worse. Uh-oh. Okay,
There we go.
Namari.
There you go, Murray.
Very composed.
Showing up in good places with the ball, for the ball.
One dribble, set, get your feet. That's pretty good defense. Get the rebound, though.
Yep.
There it is.
It's an interesting choice by
I mean-
Purdue.
It's Larry Soroto.
I mean, that's... Oh. That's a good pass. That's probably a foul. I mean, he was open on that. I don't...
No, it's just an interesting
hate the
choice by
shot.
Purdue. That's
Oh, you
like-
mean to leave him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he trips over the defender's feet there. It's like... Don't really know what he's supposed to do there. All right, so not a great
Miss.
start, but that didn't look like a very confident free throw.
We have a great comment.
Okay.
A great
A
comment.
great one.
Michigan's jerseys will feature a CR patch tonight. Dusty said they're in solidarity with Craig Ross after he was almost murdered last week.
Why was he almost murdered? I don't get this.
Okay, did you write that one
No.
ahead of time? Because that's great.
That guy is a Tom
So,
Bonneville.
somebody... And that's
Oh, you gotta be kidding me!
Vlad picks up an offensive foul on the
Moving
screen.
Like, there's just no consistency in this in the Big Ten. Like, how you gonna throw that on a guy 3 minutes into a game on a completely irrelevant?
I mean, the
Like
reffing has been all over the place. We've noted that numbers of times. Oh, be awake. Well, that's a pretty good move.
I mean, he's just dipping his shoulder there so much that it's just like.
Oh,
my
there's Trey's
God.
third turnover. Trey's having issues just dribbling the ball today and passing the ball. Oh, there's a
Okay.
Wolf was yelling at Golden there, and now nobody's back on the corner. Boom.
Timeout.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
So
wonderful.
hockey is out shooting Wisconsin 4-1 in the first 5 minutes. Not bad.
Almost over.
In case you were wondering what would happen in the basketball version of the hockey game last time.
Well, it's 5 turnovers in 3 minutes and 28 seconds.
Have they done that before? You've written some of these.
Yeah.
Someone get Seth an abacus. Start.
What's the second most intimidating road game they've had?
Like true road game?
Yeah.
Wisconsin, right?
Not really sure what you're supposed
Yeah,
to do with
Wisconsin
that kind of
probably.
back down. Like, he's like the borderline between that and an offensive foul is very slim. But these days, if you can go down, it's just
Well, you just do it, and if you get called for it, you don't do it again. If you can get away with it, then
I guess.
especially when early in the game you don't have any fouls. And he's probably like just not going to shoot over him. So he's got to be able to create some space, back him down.
Well, so worst case scenario in basketball, except for one Damari Burnett bucket. Pretty brutal start in basically every capacity, where Michigan is either completely unable to bring the ball up with their point guard, or Danny Wolf is throwing it directly to an opponent. And it's just they don't look up for the moment here.
It's probably the blinding color on those Purdue jerseys. Yikes! I thought he was going to walk.
I actually thought
He might.
did.
He might have.
Yeah.
Oh man! Back
pass.
door. Can you finish? Oh, there you go. Backside rebound.
So Reuben Jones is in.
Yeah, he came in for Gale, right?
Yep.
What did Gale do?
Uh,
Come on, ref. Jesus.
oh. Okay, that was some kind of shot. Man, those are bright. And I usually like bright ones.
Do you?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Well, now they're just hitting everything.
Even when they're playing, they're just taking
17 to a
crazy jumpers.
6. Okay,
There's a
here
look.
it is. Whoa.
Oh, jeez.
That was some kind of long. Trey.
There we go.
Yeah.
That's a 75% three-point shooter, bricking one.
I mean, on extremely small samples.
No, he's the best three-point shooter in the history of basketball, and I will hear no guff about that.
Easy looks.
Have they missed a
Right
shot?
there.
Other than the
They're
free
mean,
nine,
throws?
9 of 11.
Okay. And 2 missed free throws? Oh, Reuben Jones was not expecting. What?
Oh, my.
Oh, my. What?
Jesus Christ, guys.
This is,
Woof.
Like,
he's not left-handed, is he?
No,
That's kind of incredible.
that's a ton.
So they're averaging a turnover a minute. Can we get to 40
Sort of like
turnovers?
those 40s Michigan teams, right? Oh, no, those are point a minute.
20s, yeah.
20s with the point a minute teams?
No, early 1900s.
1900.
All right. Well, maybe we should stop doing these entirely.
Hey, hockey's winning again. Still.
Still.
Yeah.
Again.
Well, they scored for the first time on a watch-along since last year.
That's true.
Accurate. And they've only allowed 4 shots in the first 7+ minutes. It's okay.
They only have 4 shots. But
Sure. They're also down 2 defensemen. And
Yeah, man, this year is beginning to feel like that year where they ended up playing 4 defensemen for a whole NCAA tournament game. I think it was against Maine. And
that is a long time ago.
by the third period, they just couldn't skate. They were just dead on their skates because they only had 4 guys that could even play a little bit.
Okay, this is
Signed it.
not super relevant to the watch-along.
we are. There's some brawls going on. Yeah.
But I feel like I
okay.
should
We have breaking
say
news.
this.
Okay.
I think someone just got a Michigan guy just
This
got a
is
5-minute
the real
major.
Frank Saravalli account. So,
Okay.
unless he got hacked, breaking. Sources tell Daily Faceoff that Avalanche are in the process of trading Mikko Rantanen to Carolina.
Wow.
Sounds like this is a complex 3-way deal, and I believe Taylor Hall is also involved in the deal going to Carolina from Chicago.
Well, that's interesting. Is it more surprising that the Avs are trading Rantanen or that the Canes are involved in a big star trade?
Out Friedman just confirmed it.
Wow.
What do you think of that?
What do I think of that? It would depend. If they get no one back, I wouldn't like it. I mean, there hasn't been anything involved. What does Carolina have to give?
I'm fascinated.
If they get so it's with the Blackhawks. So if they get Connor Bedard,
I mean, I think TJ Hughes is he got 2 minutes for that. Wow.
is that what it is?
He
roughing?
cross-checked the guy into the boards, and I thought that he was done. He gets a little cross-check here, and then he loses his mind.
Which you can't see.
Yeah. Smart.
And so now they're gonna ask for a review for head contact.
Sure.
Like that.
Which
Well-
is helpful because could actually be watching hockey during the commercial, but no.
No.
Now we're going to watch a review.
watching-
Something we're used to doing in basketball.
Yeah. Well, television was a mistake.
That's a good quote.
Wow, Painter's towers over Dusty May.
Well, May's not the largest fellow.
No, but I didn't know Matt Painter was like 6'6".
Well, I mean, Dusty might be 5'6".
No. 5'5", 8.
All right. Well, in any case, he's a nice man.
Well, okay, but height doesn't have any
What?
insinuate anything about.
Well, no. I mean, sometimes it does. Sometimes people have the Napoleon complex. You know?
Okay, I guess. Anyone you're thinking of in particular?
Napoleon.
Okay. Yeah. Well,
What? I have no idea what the point of helping off in that way is, because you're never going to do anything useful on the post up, and you just gave up an open 3. That's very frustrating.
yeah, I mean, right now it also feels like it doesn't really matter what shot Purdue takes. It's going in because they have tough shots.
Okay,
and
well
open
then
shots
let's just
and-
not play the game. You got to try.
I understand. Reuben Jones. Oof.
All right.
Whoa! That almost went in.
I think that's their first turnover.
That is their first.
Trey from Ann Arbor. Holy cow.
I mean, I think they got to sit him because he's playing like garbage.
He-
but who are they going to play?
Well, they're already playing Reuben Jones. And there's another one. Wow.
Hey guys, the next time you suggest this, I'm just going to say no. Yeah, let's.
Oh, boy.
Come on! You're dribbling from outside the
Oh, boy.
3-point line.
Hey, they missed one.
That's a foul. Thank you.
going.
I
the
mean,
other
but
way.
they just look completely out of sorts. Like they don't like this help from Cheddar. What are you? What are
breakaway.
you helping?
Oh,
Good point.
good save.
Like you have that turnover on the like those first 2 turnovers, and Michigan just isn't running offense right now. Like they don't know what is going on. Like they have this huge ball pressure, and like there's nothing Michigan has in response to it. Like, come on.
Turnovers. That's what they have in response. Oh my goodness. Huh. Hey, we get the ball. Yeah, I mean they just sort of.
They're just
need
playing
to-
this huge ball pressure, and Michigan doesn't have. Like, I'm pretty disappointed in Donaldson because he's supposed to be the guy who's
He's
reasonably secure with the ball, and he
Well,
just
now you got
starts
Reuben
Michigan.
Jones handling it.
well. They
last
took
2
him.
possessions.
Yeah. Well, Donaldson has about what 3 or 4 turnovers already. Good pass. Oh,
How is that not a foul?
It was a foul.
He's underneath the basket.
And he
He's going
gets-
up for a basket, and a
he
guy
gets shoved.
shoves him, and it's not a foul.
yeah. And one more. Oof. Some of these threes are like not close either. They're just clangers. Oh yeah.
All right, I'm going to leave.
Brian's done.
We're still ahead in hockey.
29-9. I
Yeah,
guess
I had a rule during the Amaker era that I got to turn it off if they were down 20.
is that only the Amaker era?
Well,
What
it
about
was-
the
it
Ellerby
was-
era?
I mean,
Ooh.
it was wait, was it? Whatever it was. But yeah, now they're down 20 in 9 minutes. So yeah, I'm gonna leave.
Wait, we're in the penalty box again over here?
There's really
It looks like, yes, halfway through the first period, Michigan has taken their second penalty. I have not seen one in Wisconsin yet.
Tackling quarterbacks or tackling subscription?
So let's see if they can kill another one. Oh, that's really nice. Puck movement. That would be a power play goal. Things are raining and pouring in the
Yep.
last while.
This is unfortunate.
Wonder if they know when we do this.
Why do we get so many more penalties? Do we just commit that many more penalties?
Well, I mean, the first penalty was T.J. Hughes just cross-checking a guy while the play wasn't even live.
That
and
just-
I didn't see this one.
DRM might not have even been there for this. What is? Just got spun like a top.
Well, I mean, his play there is to deflect the pass, I guess. But
Well, that's what I mean. Like, that pass just can't go through there. That's what you always say.
And that's a nice set play.
Yeah.
No look backhand pass.
Tough to defend. Whoa. Well, it would be nice to have anything relevant to say about this basketball game, but it's hard.
No, they look shell shocked.
They look like they're in their first real road game. But they managed.
I mean, they played at UCLA, which was like
Well,
the
they-
number 1 turnover team in America.
the Wisconsin one is the bigger one, right? Because
Yeah,
that
they
was
played at
it.
Wisconsin,
yeah.
and they just look completely
Overwhelmed.
yeah.
9 points
Alejandro
versus
says
8 turnovers.
9 points versus 8 turnovers.
14 points off turnovers for Purdue. Purdue 13 of 18 from the field. 3 of 6 from 3.
Yeah. I mean, it just feels like anything that could go wrong has gone wrong. But there are those games. So do you want either of the Notre Dame linemen?
Sure, why not? It's not my money.
Who would you prefer, the center or the guard?
I don't
Coogan,
know, whatever.
Spindler.
I mean, the thing is, like, these guys are not sure that they're going to start for Notre Dame last year, and you go look at their numbers, and they're like their second and third best linemen according to Pro Football Focus, which is not, the gospel when it comes to run blocking in particular, but they didn't stand out as particularly poor. But Spindler lost his job in fall camp, and then the guy who replaced him got injured 3 games into the season,
Right.
and then he played the last 13 for them.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know.
And Michigan was in on him.
Yeah, and he's from Michigan. But
Yeah,
like,
Clarkson, right? Yeah.
Like, can Michigan tell him for certain that he's going to have a starting job? Because that's what he's going to want.
I mean,
He's not going to go to a place where he's not going to start.
who's the starting left guard?
I don't know. I mean, but Michigan has brought in a couple of guys. One of them is a D2 All-American. I don't know if he's any good, but
Yeah. Just feels like, this guy just literally played in the national title game. Can't be that bad. On an O-line that was a decent running team.
yeah, I mean, Notre Dame's offense was never their selling point this year. So
No. All right, well, we have Justin Pippen in the game, it looks like.
Yeah.
Cheddar and Burnett. Wolf and Gale. There you go. It's a good pass.
And there's a goal for Wisconsin.
Man. Who was that? Oh, Hensler, that's your guy. Oof. Just went right by somebody. Looked like it was Werner, maybe?
It's like 9 seconds in the lane there by the dude. They don't call that anymore.
3 seconds shouldn't even be a rule. Who cares?
Another open three. Well, hooray, they missed one. They both went to the same spot. Pippen.
Nope.
Whoa.
He almost took the rim.
Yikes.
Good contest.
Yep. Go get it. Oh. Oh, there it is. There you go, Namari. Does he have, like, all their points? Vlad has 2. Wolf has 2. I guess Donaldson hit the 3. Okay. So he's got 6.
Bad defense by Walter.
Oh, Sam Walter is in the game now. Whoa.
Like, they're
Oh my
just taking...
What in the world?
And then they throw that one. Nope.
And they call a foul. This is...
Yeah,
Yikes.
this is not worth doing. Let's end this. I'm serious. I don't want to watch a 30-point blowout again and just waste my time with this. Like, they're just taking jacked up threes that they never take because they have no faith in their offense generating anything. They come out of a timeout, they have a play, and they get a bucket that's easy. But as soon as they actually have to run offense, it's not a set play. They have no idea what they're doing.
Which seems all mental, right? Because it's not like we haven't seen this team run offense.
Well, I mean, they just got absolutely blitzed by Painter. Painter probably put in a bunch of prep for this game because
Yeah.
they didn't have to do it for other games.
That's why they lost to Ohio State.
Possibly, yeah.
I mean, that actually
But
kind of
like,
tracks.
it looks like that they've been preparing for this game like
Since
since the
August.
beginning of the season,
Yeah.
basically.
this is like what Michigan State would do for those like first
Yeah.
quarter in football.
Well, how much do we attribute it to the arena?
The atmosphere.
Yeah.
Well, they
It's-
won at the Troll Center. Like that
Yeah.
was,
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
I mean,
He's in trouble.
what? You just everyone's standing on the other side of the court while he just backs a guy down from the 3-point line. Somebody's got to move or move the ball at least.
Having your center pound the ball 6 times, 30 feet from the basket, usually not a good plan.
Craig's chiming in that he's not a fan of that play. Seconded. Oh boy.
Wow.
Oh. Did that roll off his head?
Oh.
Oh my. Well, that's a foul. What are fouls?
Can't imagine Michigan's drawn a lot.
1.
All right, guys, I'm out.
Yeah.
You'll feel bad when you come back.
Can you mute this because it's like popping in my ears? I don't know. Do you want to go for it?
Yeah, you might as well do it. We need a pinch hitter.
Hope you've got your jokes ready. All right, we can quiz you about your softball.
Let's go. Oh boy, not that softball.
Okay, so Michigan has had 1 shot in the last 10 minutes of
Of
play
hockey,
in
yeah.
hockey. That seems bad.
All right. Oh wow, I can hear myself. This is weird.
Yeah, so
no.
it's an interesting experience. 15-5 in shots for.
There's a look. Yeah.
Yeah, had a good look there. Haven't watched tons of this game, but not great when you can't find getting a shot on net for the better part of half a period. Ironically, though, they had a good start getting the first goal because something they hadn't done the previous few games,
Yeah.
starting down 2-0.
Well, they've been on the penalty kill.
Oh, yeah,
at
they
least
did have two.
twice, and
So if they get a power... Oh, here you go. Oh, have a go.
And he got it.
Oh, we did!
Oh wow.
2-2.
2-2. Who walked in? Is that Ed? It's DRM. Or his second goal of the
I
year?
think it was, yeah. He made a nice little move. and
So
then-
Scarfoni was like in the circle? What happened? So he gets run into and then he falls. He is way out. Is that what it is? Are they going to review this? Or you said by his own defenseman hit him?
Michigan scored.
All right, we are returning to the basketball game at the under 8 timeout. 7:52 to go in a not very close game.
What do you think about the Purdue Mount Rushmore?
You know, Zach Edey is on it, and I think that's appropriate.
I'm-
Glenn Robinson.
I'm
and-
really mad that Boiler Pete isn't on it. Boiler Pete's probably... He might be my favorite mascot in the Big Ten.
Really.
I mean Puddles now. Puddles is the
Fair.
best mascot ever.
Yep, I mean,
But
Puddles has
that-
a better social
he's
media
still-
presence.
He does. He also has good ESPN commercials.
Yeah.
But
Boiler Pete,
Boiler Pete,
especially around the.
Some people think he's creepy, and
Yeah.
I can see that a little bit. But like
The eyes.
mascots are kind of all creepy. So if that's your context, like that's just sorry, that doesn't fly. You need a better reason.
We might have a GI review here.
Yeah, well, I mean, it
It's
looked
hard
like
to tell.
there was some contact as he went across.
Well, it depends on if he got pushed in.
I don't think he got pushed in, but
Caleb First has a little Hunter Dickinson face to him, doesn't he?
with the beard,
With the beard, yeah.
and the little fluffy hair on
Yeah.
top. Have you watched any Kansas this year?
Little bit. I
Yeah.
saw his tie up. Was it yesterday? Where it was a held ball that Hunter Dickinson and like 3 TCU players all refused to let go of.
So it was him versus the
It
Horned Frogs?
literally, it was like 25 seconds worth of both of them after the whistle fighting for the ball. Like 3 different Horned Frogs came in, all trying to rip it off, and I think Hunter Dickinson won that.
It's like when all the Agent Smiths jump on Neo. We haven't really seen a review.
Is that,
No, there's been no
is
angle.
that Kaysen in too?
Oh my gosh! Oh, they call it.
All right, we got LJ Kaysen
came
in.
back. Oh,
L-
Kaysen and
and
Pippen?
Pippen.
Wow. Well, I mean, what are you going to do at this point? You might as
Right.
well play, guys.
I mean,
Oh, nice pass. Oh, there's Namari. Oh,
Good
And
contact.
one.
two
All
for
right.
cheese. 2 for cheese. Well, he's not going to mail this in. He will play hard through the whistle and hopefully the final whistle. Look at this pass. Okay. Got him in the air. That's a nice move.
Only got 2
Two
on
on-
Kaufman ran.
And he's their big guy.
he is, yeah, he plays about a third of his minutes at the 5. He's their starting 4.
Oh, they're
He's,
4.
Yeah, I mean, he's the type of guy that, I mean, we talked to Vlad Golden, said that he's the sort of player he doesn't like defending just because he's smaller, a little bit more athletic, plays really well in the constructs of his body, like knows what he's doing.
Well, and we saw that on the back down.
Yep, and then, Caleb First, like he's the bigger guy. He's the starting 5, but he's not very much of an offensive, weapon individually.
This is a really interesting GI review now that they've actually showed us what happened.
What's your call here?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't read lips.
Yeah,
Oh, they're keeping it. All right,
so,
2-2.
So Whitelaw absolutely interferes with the goalie, but the goalie was outside the blue.
Oh, so there can't be GI there.
Can't really. So, and that's not even the guy that was on his knees.
Yeah.
That was Draper. There was 2 guys right around the net. Whitelaw comes through and absolutely clips in what would be obvious interference if it were in the blue, but it's
Okay.
not in the blue.
Yeah.
And so they let it stand 2-2 in that game.
Was that a challenge, or did they just go review it?
That was a challenge because now they're playing with 4 skaters.
Okay, so now Michigan is on the. No.
No.
No. Right. That's we're used to watching the
Right,
NHL.
NHL rule, sorry.
Meanwhile, Michigan's still down 26.
Yep. 1 for 11 from 3. Most of those not close.
That is true. There have been some chuckers today. Well, 9 turnovers, 10 turnovers, something like that, and 1 for a quadrillion from 3. Shooting beyond terribly. That is not a good recipe.
I think the most rattled this team has looked this year, right? Like
It has
they
to-
just
well, I mean, we've never seen them look like this. All their games have been like,
they've been close, right?
Yeah.
Like they've lost all their games by what, like a total of 8 points?
and they had what, a 10-point lead in every one of them.
Not tonight. Oh,
If they lead 10 by 10 points tonight, I will never let Brian live it down. Shoot it, cheese.
Way off.
Oh my goodness!
right? Like,
These are just not close.
Not
did they
yet.
just like not measure the rim properly? Like maybe you remember that game where LeBron like could tell in pregame it was off by like a quarter inch. Like maybe they just measured it wrong. It's just like all of these are terrible shots.
Wasn't there like in the women's tournament years ago that they got like the 3-point line wrong?
That was like a year or 2 ago. That was
Yeah.
very
Really?
recently. Yeah, that was.
So you're
What-
just shooting from the wrong distance.
They realized it like at halftime
Halftime.
of a game.
Yeah.
Did they change it?
They couldn't at that point.
Yeah,
thought,
I mean, you
but
But they had to like delay the next game, something
Yeah,
like
it
that.
was-
It was-
Redo the lines.
Yep.
it was a huge story.
That's actually pretty funny. It feels like with Michigan being so far off. I had a cousin who used to play in golf tournaments, and they'd play with like a double-sized cup. So, like, putting is obviously a lot easier. And it feels like if they made the basket twice as big in this game, it still wouldn't make a difference.
No.
It's like shooting with, like, a mini ball.
It'd be just a 20-point game instead of a...
Start shooting it over the backboard. Yeah. Hot shot.
Oh, good opportunity for Pippen and for Kaysen. Kaysen's a guy we haven't seen in a while.
Yeah, he hasn't played.
He's played just a handful of minutes since Big Ten play started. You know, we obviously...
And for good reason.
For good reason. I think, you know, the staff likes him a lot. They said before the season started, they think individually he's one of their better creators. He's one of the better guys at getting to the rim by himself, which is something we definitely saw in the exhibition and the early non-conference. Obviously, he shot really well from three.
Well, when he's played,
on.
he's been able to do that.
Right.
It's just everything else.
Right.
Like making decisions and passes and reads and that sort of thing. He's just struggled
He's
with.
very much a freshman who thought he'd be at FAU.
What about like a one-hand shove 30 feet from the basket? But yeah, I mean,
didn't see anything.
But this is I like that point because you might as well play a guy like Kaysen here, and I mean, I guess not if he's going to do that, but or Pippen, and there's really nothing to lose. Like they can look bad, and it doesn't cost you at all.
Yeah, and you need one or two of those guys to start stepping up because
you also need to sit some of your players and be like, look, you guys have played college basketball for a little while. I agree, this is a tough arena, but get your head under your body a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, Roddy Gale came into this game over the last 10 games. He's been shooting under 20% from three. He's been dealing with some sort of injury that Dusty May mentioned.
Because he missed a game, right?
He missed a game.
Yeah.
His athleticism had not always been quite at the level Michigan expected because of whatever that lingering injury is. Trey Donaldson was talking about how his ankle's been bothering him.
Trey's ankle has?
Trey's ankle has, yeah. So, I mean, obviously, like they're playing. They weren't even listed on the injury report. No excuses for any of them. But the reality is, like, Michigan needs more ball handlers and sort of the expectations that we had maybe at the beginning of the year where Sam Walters, like, honestly, like ever since he had a wrist injury at some point, right?
Yeah.
He hasn't shot the ball particularly well.
Not. And he did to start the season. And you're kind of like this guy.
Right.
Just get him an open look. And probably the last 2/3 of the season, I would say, it's just
he's got
been
an unorthodox shot.
He
as
does.
well.
Yep.
A straight line drive,
which looks really good when he makes it, and hasn't looked quite so good over the last couple months. But
so about 5 minutes to go. 5:05, 4, 3, 2, 44-17. Feels like old school Michigan Purdue football. There you go,
we go.
Wolf. Okay. String some possessions together. Good pass. Foul on the floor.
Yep.
Yeah, on the floor.
So now fouls are even? Did they tally the one for Purdue yet? No, it would be 6. It'd have to be because it's on the floor. Otherwise, it'd be a 1-1. Oh, fancy. There's your case and drive we were talking about.
Yeah, there we go.
I mean, it's not that, like you said. This isn't anything new from him. It's just, can he do literally anything else? And if that's the case, then you're maybe talking about working your way back in the lineup a little bit. Sometimes it takes an opportunity like this, a game like this, to get some kid like that going because he can just play free and build his confidence a little bit.
And they talked about him a bit throughout the week, too. Dusty May said that they were hoping LJ Kaysen would get into the Northwestern game. Obviously, that game was a lot closer than I think everyone expected it to be, and he didn't have that chance.
There it is.
Just waiting for a blowout to get him in.
Yeah,
And
this is
monkey
they got one. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
That's it.
Ugh.
Man, what's got to be like?
That's a good board. That's it.
That's
Yep.
that was almost going to be offensive. 1 of 14. Holy cow!
Yikes.
That is. Craig, right now, could you go 1 of 14 from 3?
Yeah.
He's confident. That was a quick answer. Aiden is doubling down, saying he goes 2 of 14. 1 of 7, though. I don't know.
See, 44-21, 3:15 to go. Michigan's on a little bit of a run that has
4-point run, 6-point run.
continuing.
It was a 6-0
potentially?
run now here.
And first.
LJ Kaysen, no shortage of confidence.
Still-
Also cannot hit a 3.
Which means he plays for Michigan.
Yeah, 1 of 15. That's
The first period is ended in hockey, 2-2. Michigan has a nice, bright start, doesn't do anything for the next 15 minutes, gets a goal at the end, and kind of survives a tough period.
Yeah. They were, -2 in penalties, and I think there's a third one coming up when the next period starts. So just hanging on.
But, that's fine. You're on the road, first period. Usually you take a tie, getting out of one. And we have a timeout in basketball, 25-point lead for the Painter Boilers. Boiler Painters.
hey, there's your boy.
He's all right. He's got it. Comes with a hammer. I mean, what other? I guess. Who's the Rutgers guy? Sir Henry.
Sir Henry.
He's
Sir
on
Henry?
a horse.
Yeah,
knight?
he's down the list.
Does he
I
come
think.
with? He comes with a sword, though.
Well, the Trojan does, right?
I'm not. No, we're not. We're not talking about the Pac-12 schools. Next year we can talk about their mascots. This year it's just still old.
I
old
like
school
Goldie the Gopher.
because his head goes all the way around.
Yeah.
I hope that's the reason.
He's,
I like the name Dinkytown. The
where he's
beer.
from?
I don't know what exactly Dinkytown refers to, but like their NIL beer is like Dinkytown beer.
Oh, really?
Like I don't know what exactly Dinkytown in Minneapolis.
Did you try one?
Yeah, pretty good.
And what kind of beer is it?
I don't know.
What, you don't know anything about beer?
Alcoholic. It's probably a light lager. Like
Yeah, Pilsner or something boring.
much like my Kirkland brand.
Hey, those were a good deal, I heard.
That was a very good deal. I went.
Did Brian take his beer? I think he did.
did.
Yeah. Well, he brought expensive ones, so
Boy, that was.
wasn't gonna donate those.
You know, you can buy cars on Amazon now.
Really?
Yeah,
Like Matchbox
like
cars?
no, like actual
Like
cars.
gas cars?
Like Nissan. I think Nissan or like Hyundai, however you say that.
Are you in the car market?
I am not, but
Okay.
with that Prime shipping, could be tempted.
Your car shows up the next day.
This is Dinkytown. Okay, the campus commercial neighborhood. Good to know.
Anybody know what the rebounds are? Offensive?
rebounds. Let's take a look.
Craig is asking about rebounds, which my guess is he only cares about offensive, and they are even 4-4.
And what are turnovers now?
Turnovers are.
10-2.
I'm looking. Someone else can find it. Go for
Turnovers,
it. We have 9, and they have 8. No, 2. 9-2.
So 7 more shots, and they're shooting it away.
So
Michigan,
it looks like that.
at
Looked like that trade went down.
It's still unfolding. Still waiting to find out.
Everybody's saying that going to the Hurricanes.
Natchez and Kotkaniemi is going back the other way. We don't know what other assets yet. Taylor Hall's going to Carolina as well from Chicago, and Chicago's retaining half of Rantanen.
Oh, for the. Okay. Well, they're probably going to pay him then.
Who?
Carolina.
No extension is with this trade.
Right, but you wouldn't do this if you weren't planning on.
They traded for Gensel last year and didn't pay him.
I guess that's true. So Netchus and Cotton.
It feels like to me two guys that their old teams don't want to pay down the road being flipped. I mean, Carolina's been trying to move Natchez for a while.
And what does he have left? Is he at a UFA?
I think he signed for 2 years in the summer when they were trying to trade him, but clearly they're not committed to him in the long term.
And he's a top 6.
I mean, he's a really creative, skilled player. Just doesn't really play a lot of defense, which has always been his issue. But when he's going, he's going.
Have you seen
and
Rantanen?
He's crazy good skater.
Oh boy!
So.
Wow, that fits the Avs mold.
Yeah. There's a nice
Yikes.
dunk.
Yep.
Another turnover by Trey.
Was that by Trey?
I think so.
We're at 48-21 with 2:15 to go in the first half. Michigan at a blistering .67 points per possession.
Oh my God, that is some kind of low. Is he fouled? Yes, he was
They
fouled.
called that.
Pretty
All right.
clearly.
Yeah, Michigan scoring on 33% of possessions, turning the ball over on 30% of possessions. Not ideal.
Well, no one's really scoring. They're not really shooting. Not getting to the line. Well, I mean, now they are. They got one. Yeah, Braden Smith is pushing a triple-double in the first half. It's rough.
That's your preseason Big Ten Player of the Year right there. Impressive year for him, honestly. You spent a lot of the last couple of years, last year in particular, thinking, he's got Zach Edey with him, and that's why he's good.
Well, him and Lawyer were good last year, right?
Oh, absolutely. But, you think you got the, AP National Player of the Year 2 years in a row and Edey, and,
Sure.
Maybe that's what makes that pick and roll action. That's what makes his assist rate so high, but he's stepped up his game this year and
Well, they both have.
pretty much all fast.
Lawyer's been good
Lawyer's
too, right?
He's hitting 46% of his threes coming into tonight.
Yeah, I mean, he's always been a shooter.
What was Donaldson at coming into tonight?
He was in the 40s, wasn't
Yeah.
he? 45, 44, something like
He's
that.
been really high
Good
all
pass.
year.
Jeez.
Good. Oh.
That's
Oh,
a
where
late
was that?
foul call.
Yeah. Late, you said?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've got a YouTube commenter here blaming
Okay.
the Packers towel.
Stu, someone's hating on your Packers towel. Should we ban him? Now she's talking trash about the Lions, so I guess all is fair in love and towels. But we have to talk about something. And basketball, well, hockey's okay, but they're not playing right now. Basketball is hard to discuss at this point. Trey, nope, missed another one.
He still has the only make, right?
Yeah, and that was from way too far.
Yeah.
But he just pulls up, and you're like, no, okay, sure.
Michigan now 1 for 16 from deep, 9 of 27 overall from the field, 5 of 6 from the free throw line. So that's pretty good.
So they are 8 of 11 from 2.
Yeah, Craig says they're 8 of 11 from 2. At this point, they either need more twos or to make also some threes. Either would be fine. Just baskets.
Jeez, you gotta
Yeah.
get that rebound.
Yeah.
Nice rebound, Vlad.
I mean, rebounding has been a little iffy.
That's been all season.
Defense has been a lot iffy. 51 points for Purdue. Yikes. Yeah. It's gotten better, but then it started.
Yeah.
But for a while there it was, what a
That's
pass there.
heck of a
Roddy
pass,
Gale.
yeah.
Cheese has another 2 inside. That's a pretty nice little move again and finish.
What do you think about the running clock at the end of the first half?
You mean like on the out of bounds?
Yeah.
Sure. Would you rather have another stoppage, Alex? Don't we complain about enough of those?
Well,
Just
that
run the
is-
clock whenever.
That is fair. It's just, interesting in college.
I do think that is interesting.
Relative
And,
to the NBA.
and
Yeah.
Dusty started
Well,
using
because,
timeouts again.
you just
Oh my.
Oh boy.
I like it when
Oh.
teams are smart about it. Like they'll take their
Yeah.
time getting the
Yeah.
ball before the inbound and allow themselves to eliminate an opponent possession.
Here we go.
Hit it. And a foul.
Oh.
Oh my goodness.
It's closer
I
than
don't
most.
know. Closer than most. Better than most.
Halftime here. Oh, not here, but halftime in West
There.
Lafayette. 51-26. Purdue leads in a game that was never close.
I'll be honest. I mean, if you would have told me that Purdue was going to kind of blow them out, I could have been on board with that. I did not see Michigan being down by 25 at halftime.
Yeah. I mean, it started 13-2.
Do we have any commenters,
Let me
chatters,
see.
anywhere?
Someone wants to know who the non-hockey host is. That's me.
That's not even true. You have a season credential at Yoast.
Non-hockey podcast host.
Oh.
I do not have a hockey podcast.
You
I'm
don't.
Alejandro Zuniga. I'm over at the Michigan Insider, michigan.247sports.com.
You like moonlight for MGO.
the preeminent Michigan sports site.
You hang out here
I do hang out here.
and trade info for beers.
Do you have any good
Sometimes
info today?
food.
Do you have anything that are we getting Rocco Spindler?
I would say to subscribe to the Michigan Insider over at michigan.247. It's $1 for your first month.
There you
God.
go.
Once you're
I
a
was getting-
full-paying member,
No, I'm drawing. You can't have a commercial.
you get Paramount
don't
Plus
your-
for free.
No, you don't get your own commercial. We'll give you some screen time and interviews, and you can get your name out there, but no commercials. You should. I was going to say subscribe to MGO, but I don't think we sell anything, do we?
There
T-shirts?
is-
We just sell T-shirts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Books.
Books.
Magazines?
I don't think you can get the book anymore.
You know,
They've all been purchased.
I went to Underground Printing looking. 'Cause
Yeah.
I was gonna show off to my wife. I was like, I'm gonna show the book that.
Oh, did you
know,
see
my
what it
name's-
is?
And they're like, yeah, no, we don't have it. So.
Yeah, well, such as it is. It looks like the refs are out on the rink, which means the players should be out soon again. So if you want to flip over to BTN minus, and Peter Texton says State is up over Minnesota 7-3
Oh, my goodness.
Wow.
with 9 minutes left.
Thank you, Scott,
They must be pretty good.
Scott?
commenter.
Oh.
Just direct conversation with our live chat here
Sure.
on the YouTube page.
Seth in the live chat is asking if Brian's going to do the recap for basketball.
All right. Well, you had a good try with your commercial. Seth is right there with the comment about Brian doing the recap. I don't know, but I would at him in general, Seth, if you're watching.
Nope, Seth just said that we have more copies.
Oh, all right.
that's
So
very exciting.
if you want to part with your money, you can give it directly to me, and I'll give some of it to Seth.
Remember some good times like 42-27 and all the other fun Michigan football scores from the previous 3 years.
Some pretty good writing.
Decent writing,
Better photography?
better photography
Better
for sure.
Yeah, our photographers are right there. All right. The lights are swirling at the Troll Center, so puck drop is imminent. Was that a spider?
They had Bucky the
No,
Badger.
it's Bucky the Badger.
Yeah.
I was like, that looks like a spider that's swirling. That's probably
So why
a
is
little creepy.
BC is beating BU 4-2.
Are they BU's up 2-1 at one point? We were checking
Three
it.
goals in the second period for BC.
Have our Nittany Lions come back?
Let's take
Oh, kind of. 4-3 Ohio State.
still a lot of time.
It was
to go in that
3-0, so it was 3-3. They tied it up. What did we say in the hockey cast, Alex? That if Wisconsin gets out to a lead, we're not concerned? That they are the
that they've-
professional lead blowers of the
Well,
Big Ten this year?
They've gone to overtime a lot, so
Yeah, that's a good-
certainly an outcome here.
So they're in a power play again? This is 3-0 on power plays?
This is the third power play for
Wisconsin.
Wisconsin. They scored on the second one. I believe Michigan
Yeah.
killed the first one.
Yeah.
That's correct.
And they scored on the second one really quickly.
Yes.
Yeah, it was an
Right
unlet
off
set
the
play
opening
that you were
draw,
talking
yeah.
about. We're going to switch the volumes as whoever's doing the Fox broadcast is unnecessary. Looks like it's Rob Stone.
Years ago, Wisconsin used to have the Fox Sports North broadcast for their hockey.
Yes.
Right?
Oh, did they have North? I thought Minnesota did.
No, it was that they had it. Because remember they had the Jim Brandstatter impersonator doing the color.
Did he sound? He just
sounded like
he
him.
sounded like him.
He didn't look like him.
No.
He just sounded like him. It's now 8-3 Michigan State over Minnesota.
What?
I mean, that was the thing that
you said 8-3?
Yeah.
That's
8-3.
absurd.
I mean, that's the thing that you said was that.
Well,
their
also
goaltending.
They're also getting just blasted.
Oh, really? So they're just getting outplayed.
Yeah.
And of course, that's at Mon.
Yep.
Yeah.
Shots are 40-29. So 32 of 40 is still very bad. But obviously being outplayed
So
quite a bit as well.
So Michigan State is 8 of 40.
Yep.
They are
Okay,
sh-
is that
shooting-
about what
oh,
Michigan is
no.
shooting in basketball? Did you see that one coming?
Oh, I got there halfway through, and it's better. It is better.
It's probably.
It is absolutely better.
Jackson Helm just slid into nowhere. This is now 5-on-3.
Oof.
Oh, but it jumped off the guy's stick. Can you find it? Yep.
Yep.
Corpy covered it. Good.
Fun place, Madison, Wisconsin. I lived there for a while.
Have you been to a hockey game there?
I have.
Have you?
I went to a Michigan-Wisconsin hockey game.
When was that?
2017? I want to say 2018.
Wow,
Was,
those are two very different years. 2017, Michigan was the
Is
worst.
that
They were
the-
like the
It was a-
51st in pairwise.
It was
that
maybe
year.
that year. They
Okay.
did not win. It was not competitive.
Yeah, well, that might
Um,
probably was the year then.
You know.
That was around the time we got the Wisconsin bad photo, right?
Mm.
Yeah.
No, that was earlier.
famous
one,
or
That was
earlier?
the Hyman Larkin year.
Okay.
When they had like 3 players and they
They were
weren't
all-
really good, but that line was unbelievable. Yeah.
They missed the tournament, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, for like the 3rd straight year at that point.
Yep.
All right, about 10 seconds left on the power play. It looks like Michigan is going to kill it off nicely here.
That's what you need to do, get you into the period.
Yeah. Sometimes killing off a power play can jumpstart you a little bit from a momentum standpoint.
They didn't get much on that power play.
No.
Couple looks, but not a ton of zone
Nothing
time.
and nothing overly dangerous. Nothing you don't mind giving up.
Well, the one he fumbled, and that was about it.
Right, yeah, because he did get sort of into the slot, but. Oh, that was a little
Interference?
high, but nope. Tanner Rowe shot from the point in his quest for point number 2 in his career. Oh,
There's
just
a
shoot
lot-
it from there, though. I mean, he passed out of the slot.
Well, if he has the angle.
I mean, it's below the circle.
You're not going to get a ton of college shooters that can hit that regularly, but
I mean, a shot from below the circle, though, is... Who does he think he is? Carson Dorwart?
Leon Draisaitl.
Okay. Well.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
Cut to the slot.
Uh-oh, we have our second exodus of the evening. It's going to be a rotating cast of characters here. I can see Aiden getting nervous because he's like, man, if Sue goes down, I might have to be in.
Did Michigan have like 4 of the first 5 shots of the game?
It was 4-1, yeah.
Yeah.
They scored on like their second shot of the game.
Yeah.
So they've been
They had that
outshot
little push early, and they just
20-4 in the last probably somewhere around 20 minutes.
well, you just have to start stacking shifts on top of each other and making a little progress.
Craig, maybe a bad time to bring this up, but your boy Christian Anderson's doing pretty well at Texas Tech.
I loved Christian
I
Anderson.
know you
if
did,
you
yeah.
recall. I didn't care that he was too small. I just knew he could play.
Peter says 9-3 State.
So what year is he now?
Jeez.
Well, that could be worse than. Is that worse? Is that technically worse than this basketball
Yes,
game?
yes, by far.
Given the here's a table over
I
there.
mean, Minnesota is a team that is expecting to try and win.
Yeah.
And you're going in against a team that's another contender for.
I think maybe.
Well, and also this is a weekend they needed to win, right, for the standings in the Big Ten.
Yeah, I mean, if State outperforms them
If State gets the sweep tomorrow,
4 or 5,
then
like
it's over.
yeah, pretty much. But yeah, Wisconsin played what LIU and tied them last
In
week.
one of the games.
Yeah, in one of them, and they lost to Lindenwood earlier this year. It has been a weird year for Wisconsin because they've looked okay at times when you watch them, and they play really well. And then, I mean, is this just sort of classic? You play your opponent instead of who you are. Kind of feels a little bit like that.
Yeah, to some degree. But Wisconsin's normally a strong possession team, so
And just maybe not a great shooting team.
yeah.
I don't think we have a shot on goal this period.
That appears.
No shots.
Well, you know, spend the first 2 minutes.
Well, you're on the. I mean, there haven't been a ton of Wisconsin
this
shots
looks like a
either
good
until
chance.
this.
Oh, fumble that out in front. Don't love that rebound. Find it. Corpy just
Whoa, jeez.
literally spun in a circle.
Shots are 6-0. No, excuse me. Yes, shots are
Shot it.
6-0 Wisconsin this
Shot it right
period.
into the chest.
Yeah, kind of lucky. This is Felicio and Edwards. Interesting pairing together. I feel like you'd put Felicio maybe
It's
with Truscott.
also
or-
quite likely to me that this shot counter is juicing it up. 'Cause
Penn
they
State shot
now,
counter.
Now
Oh,
they're back to
oh.
23, but they tacked on 3 shots on goal for that, like, mad scramble.
Oh, move it one more. Oh, that's not why. That's exactly why you don't do that.
Rush chance. Good save,
Yep.
Corpy.
Kept the pillows closed. Stick down. Oh, geez.
And then a bad giveaway in front.
Someone asked if Brian left, and I said, yes, he did.
No, he's,
This
hiding
he's
in the
hiding.
basement.
We
Give
have-
it away.
we have him laying down behind us right now. Brian,
This is
are you
actually
done napping?
This is actually what Brian looks like if he got a haircut and was clean shaven.
My sister said at least the charming one took over.
It would be pretty horrifying if Brian didn't have a beard.
if he didn't.
Charming one took over.
What if he went full cue ball? I pushed for that one time on a podcast. He did not comply.
And now you got an opportunity to attack here.
Here it is. There's a
Down,
look.
shot
Look off.
across.
Oh, if he gets that in the air, he might have it. But it looked like he was going to
He
beat
was a little
Scarfoni
late
across.
to catch it and shoot it.
He did. That wasn't
Yep.
a shot on goal.
Yeah, there was a shot on goal, just wasn't in the net.
Okay, yeah, I know, but they didn't tick it up. But
Top reasons future you wants to move to Ohio. That's a commercial I want to watch.
I hate those ads.
Would you rather move to Boston?
Well, I hate that they're on Michigan television.
I mean, isn't this just national?
Yeah, well, we shouldn't be forced to see that. We saw, was it an Indiana tourism sticker in downtown Detroit this year?
Indiana?
Yeah.
Good for them. I don't have anything against Indiana.
A lot of fond memories there on recent
Oh,
early
yes.
December Saturday nights.
It's going to be a long time before I think negative things about the city of Indianapolis.
I like Indianapolis.
Sure.
I think underrated city. I know they got
Hosted a Super Bowl.
a lot of guff for, was it the NBA All-Star game that
Is that
people
what
were
it was?
complaining lack of hotels or the airport's not big enough or whatever, but good little city.
I mean,
walkable,
sure.
a lot of bars, easy to get
It
to.
is.
And
Did you
Yeah.
ever go to the, what is it, St. Elmo's?
so, you know,
The famous steakhouse?
I have not been to St. Elmo's, but at the NFL Combine last year, they brought St. Elmo's to us,
Oh.
Really?
I
which is
imagine
very nice.
Take
yeah.
out St. Elmo's?
They brought us little shrimps with their famous sauce. And did you guys see the Iowa cheerleader the other day?
No.
It was coming out of timeout in the game that Iowa men's basketball just got absolutely blasted in at home. One of their cheerleaders, like their male cheerleaders, apparently took a tumble during
Oh, boy.
during a TV timeout, and they came back from commercial, and he was just lying motionless on the ground. And they had to delay the game for a good 5-10 minutes while they brought out the stretcher and immobilized him and took him out.
Wow.
I think he's okay. Like I saw something the next day that, you know, he was in the hospital but was mobile and, you know, conscious and all that, but scary stuff.
So,
Almost as scary as Michigan's shooting in the first half. All right, here we go.
so Purdue lost their last game to
Ohio
State, right?
Yes.
Which is kind of annoying.
That felt really bad
Yeah.
when I saw that.
Yeah.
You just don't want to go into the game like that where they're coming off a bad loss and are, you know, extra motivated. Yeah, 1 of 16 from 3.
1 to 16,
Yep.
so they didn't count the one at the end of the half, I guess. when he did.
10 turnovers to 2. Not good. Alejandro, have you been there to Mackey?
I have been to Mackey once. It was, I want to say, the 2013 season.
Jeez.
So it's been a while. Dating myself a little bit there. The year that did not go well for Michigan. That was I want to say that was the Karis LeVert year.
There's a
where he-
penalty. Michigan's finally going on a power play.
Oh, well, maybe not now because Whitelaw just retaliated.
No,
Or no, it's Duke.
That's Duke.
Well, the 5 and the 8. I guess one of them's a little shorter.
Second half is underway.
What did you think of
in
Mackey
West
when
Lafayette.
you went?
I really enjoyed it. I think it lived up to its reputation as an imposing atmosphere. The students are all very well color coordinated and
Yeah.
very energetic.
I've noticed.
Oh, yeah. Wisconsin guy shot the puck in the net after the whistle blew.
2 weeks, 2
2
weekends
weeks
in a row.
We keep having this.
Roddy Gale made a basket.
So we were gonna get a power play there, is that, and then,
That's a play that can't happen in such a big game. You gotta handle your emotion. Obviously, you don't
Whoa.
put it in that. That's a little bit gamesmanship. But Tyler Duke can't come in there and cross-check. He's a junior. That's a tough play from a junior defenseman.
Well, the broadcast is complaining about Tyler Duke retaliating, so it might be a 4-on-4.
Also describing unranked Wisconsin as the big game.
Oh,
Oh,
boy.
boy.
Oh, my goodness.
Back to basketball. We've got a Vlad Golden turnover leading to the 20th transition point or point off turnover for the Purdue Boilermakers. 55-28.
Well, and most of the
18:30 to
turnovers
go.
have been exactly like that. Clear run out.
Yes.
Right.
Layups.
It's
How
been
many
a-
of those have there
How many
been?
dead ball turnovers have there
Right.
been? Like 2, 3?
Have they even had one?
They had, yeah, there was one on the baseline. There's been a couple that they lose control of as it goes out of bounds, but
Roddy Gale garbage time points.
there you go.
He's got 4. Is this garbage time yet? Probably.
The whole game was garbage.
The whole game is garbage. The whole game is garbage time or just garbage? Because I think you have arguments on both sides.
Speaking of
Looks
ankles,
like 2 Badgers in the box.
Yeah, so it should be a power play. I mean, the Wisconsin captain seemed upset in the conversation there, so
they call that a travel?
I think they handled that right. Unsportsmanlike conduct on Fitzgerald. I mean,
For
for Wisconsin.
In addition?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I think that's how you have to do it.
'Cause you have to
Because
keep
the Duke
power.
cross-check wasn't unprovoked.
Yeah.
So.
Right. Well, Michigan's been better on the power play. Not as much last week, but
Well, they scored on the Friday game.
yeah, I guess they scored on Saturday too after the game was over. Shoot it. Shoot it.
Good passing.
Right there.
Oh.
Shoot
There's
it.
another chance.
Oh, wide open net. Yeah,
There
it
we
is.
go.
Yeah.
3-2.
3-2
Who's that?
Michigan
That was
Hockey.
TJ Hughes.
Yep.
TJ Hughes can't
Continues to
stop
score on the
scoring.
Power play.
What'd you call him? Power play merchant? Ooh,
Which
that
isn't-
is.
Which isn't a bad thing.
No. Not if you're putting the puck in the net. Roddy Gale. Garbage time merchant.
Cuts the lead to a manageable 23.
23.
It's the-
Feels close.
We're just the Chris Paul meme now.
Yeah, hits a huge 3.
What is it? Chris Paul, it's a huge 3 to cut the lead to 40 or
Yep.
something like
Is
that.
that what it is?
Yeah.
Ooh, good pass.
Honestly, if Roddy Gale hit a 3 or 2, that would bring me joy. how
Oh,
about
yeah.
that?
Golden. All right.
Down to 21.
All right.
If they get it to 10, I'll switch the volumes. Give them some incentive.
I have Brian Cook banging on the window trying to get back in there.
No. Shades down.
Here's Tassie trying to go between the legs to Morrissey, unable to find it, and Michigan coming forward again with Draper.
That's good deep.
By Dexheimer,
Okay.
all the way across to the
Get the rebound. That's not a
Yeah,
foul.
there
That's a
has
foul.
to
Hey,
be
that's
foul.
on
There we go.
that's on the
Is that
hyphenated
Kaufman
guy's
Ren?
name.
That's
Yeah.
Kaufman. That's
Yeah,
3 on
three
Kaufman
on
Ren.
three.
Okay.
That's not nothing.
Make sure he knows it. Yeah.
We used to do that in the maze right
Yeah,
all
oh
the
yeah.
time when the people walk back to the bench. Oh yeah. Flashbacks.
Is the you ever see the famous video of Mitt Romney taunting Russell Westbrook? With
N-
the
oh, was it? Oh, okay.
There's
I
another
think-
goal.
Yeah.
Oh, how
I didn't
about
miss
that?
that one. Who was that?
That is Ethan Edwards.
Hey, okay. Eddie.
Well, not a lot of saves being made tonight for
Not
the
for
Badgers.
Scarphone.
Well, this is
Oh, that's a quick little release. I don't think
Nice
that's
little shot.
probably a good goal.
well, this has been a pretty classic Wisconsin script we've talked about,
Yeah.
where they outshoot an opponent and then lose.
Well, they haven't lost, but
Correct, but they are losing.
we could call game now, and that would be nice.
Well, with how few people have BTN minus, we could just say the game is ended.
That's
and
true.
They wouldn't know.
Well, I think a lot of the basketball
Oh, we got
crowd
it.
has tuned out. The hockey crowd might still be here.
We got a
Oh,
goalie
that's it.
change. Yep.
So now they're bringing in Graham.
Yep.
Is that his name? I didn't.
William Graham.
I didn't look up his numbers.
Right, isn't that his name?
William Graham.
Billy Graham.
Is it really?
But isn't it GRAM?
I think there's an E.
MME. Yeah, that has to be Grammy. I'm sorry.
Well, we can call him that.
Oh, yikes.
That was a nice pass, Jan.
It's a Danny Wolf turnover, throwing it to a... Oh, wow. And when they miss a dunk, it still goes in. It is 60-34. Maybe not so
Boilermakers.
quietly, I'd say. Yeah, 60-34 Boilermakers, not so quietly. Danny Wolf, another struggle game. Was he scoreless last game against Northwestern?
Well,
And
he had free throws.
He had
Yeah, free
was
throws, okay.
Field
0 for
goalless.
6 from the floor.
He is, I believe, 1 for however many shots
Oh.
with a couple pretty bad turnovers this game.
Oh.
That's got to be a foul, right? Yep.
I was kind of hoping he'd just keep doing that until he made it and they fouled him. But
Talking to Vlad Golden earlier this week, he told us he consumes 7,000 calories a day during basketball
is
season.
that like Michael Phelps?
It reminded me of like the whole like Elvis. Remember, like he had a whole like on
I wasn't-
performance days.
I
he-
wasn't alive for Elvis.
You know, I of course was.
The ageless wonder.
Yes,
of
that is me, Brian Cook, clean shaven.
clean-shaven Brian Cook. That's. Oh, how much money would you have to get to change your Twitter handle to that? Just clean-shaven Brian Cook. That's- Anyway, Michael
Anyway.
Phelps and Elvis
Yeah,
both consumed a lot.
And so does Vlad Golden. 7,000 calories a day. He was drinking a protein, or excuse me, a peanut butter shake. Says he hates it. Absolutely hates it.
Mm.
Says he consumes many sticks of butter on a daily basis.
Just like gnaws on each one?
He essentially said that. Maybe it was
I don't
a bit,
believe it.
He said it goes on everything.
Gonna need a video of him just gnawing on a butter stick.
Well, Michigan is back in the box after
Interference
extremely dumb penalty
by-
by William Whitelaw. No surprise.
Is it Whitelaw or Draper?
Thought it was Whitelaw.
Maybe.
Whitelaw, yeah.
Well,
Whitelaw's the kind of.
he always takes
He does
the
things like that.
minors and
Meanwhile, score update: Ohio State and Penn State tied at 5.
5?
Yep.
That's 5?
With
There's your meme.
5:53 remaining in the game.
Wow, there's still time for Penn State to throw us a bone.
I mean, even getting Ohio State to OT would be okay.
Sure.
That went out in front. It was a dangerous pass, but no Badger on the end of it. Zexheimer has to retrieve it. 1:20 left in the power play. Here's Tyson Dick.
Hobie Baker chance for Isaac Howard tonight.
Well, I mean, he was already having a pretty good year. And then I assume that he had some points, given the fact that they have 9 goals. Puck just came firing out, so he didn't have it.
Now we're going to throw it down to our sideline reporter, Rachel Cohen.
A sideline
We still
reporter
have
for a BTN Plus
We
game?
still have 65
That's
viewers. Is that
impressive.
what that number means?
Yeah.
Wow. Bless you, souls.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for watching. Thank you for spending. You only get one life, and you're spending it with us on
Friday
this
night.
Friday night.
And late January. It's cold outside.
Cold inside sometimes,
Cold
too.
inside a little bit.
Is it too cold in here? Should I put the fire on?
I meant metaphorically, Craig. It is
Craig
perfectly
is-
fine
Craig is
temperature-wise in this studio, garage, well, whatever you want to call it.
I mean, I guess it's a studio. Things are recorded here.
What do you think about that retro Purdue shirt? Did you see that?
Is that Boiler Pete on it?
Yeah.
Then I'm in. All right, Michigan is getting to the end of another penalty kill. Looks like they're probably going to kill this one off, too. They get one, maybe one more clear. And of
And they
course they did
don't.
not,
That-
with 2 seconds left
The announcer
on the power
Was
play.
was that deflected in?
I assume it was deflected by one of the
The guy out
multiple
front.
unchecked Badgers in front. Pretty poor close to the penalty kill from Michigan there. They looked in pretty good shape and then, well, stopped skating. Bad.
Let's see. Yep.
Yeah, I
Good
mean,
deflection
I
in
don't know
front.
what. LaPointe is on the wrong side of his guy. And it looked like the other guy, 22, on the backside was going, or 28 was going to put it in as well. So, bad.
5-4, but Michigan went up, scored a couple of goals, then Wisconsin came back and scored 3 unanswered goals. So just eerily similar.
A lot of a game to be played. 25 minutes.
No, is that a
Looks
foul on
like
a three?
Damari Burnett got a foul. I was looking up to see if we've closed the gap at all in basketball, and it has widened.
-1.5.
There's another rip by Mellenbacher that goes wide. We're going to see, did Michigan learn their lesson?
And there's
There's another penalty, and that's on Michigan again.
Yeah.
Is this something about Nerado? I mean, is it something that
It is. I mean, it's
It was
been
a-
every
there
year
was a-
Michigan's
There was a
been.
big hit there. Who was that by?
I mean, we said this earlier. Michigan
It is. Craig notes that every year under Nerado,
Well, that's
Michigan's
not really
been
on Truscott. I mean,
near the
that's
top in
Hughes
power in penalties.
kind of
taken.
Oh, maybe it's that one. Did they call the late one then on Arico for hitting the guy up in the head?
No, it was the.
It was the
It was the
double clip thing that were 2 guys sandwiched. Number 28, Pietola, is that, I think? He's 28. Now we're going to look at a review. Good. All right. I guess that means I have to watch this basketball game.
I mean, there's no real reason for that hit, though. That's
No, he wasn't in a dangerous spot.
no.
And Truscott was between him and the net.
Yeah.
14:20 left in this basketball game. Purdue up 64-38. Let the people know. Trey Kaufman back in the game with 3 fouls, 10 points, 5 of 8 field goals.
Because they probably have turned it off?
You probably have turned it off, and I want to let you know not to turn it back on.
That is fair. I'll tell you what. If you've turned this basketball game off but still have us on, maybe Brian will send you some money. Should show up outside his house. We could demand money.
Maybe salt his driveway.
Salt is dry. Better than his garden. So they called contact to the head. 2-minute contact to the head.
I
Is
guess,
that
yeah.
the?
I don't know. Not super familiar with that penalty, but
The announcer said it could be worse for Michigan, so I'm guessing that's not a 5-minute major.
So, is this our 7th penalty to 1? 7th power play to 1?
Craig is asking how many penalties
I would say
have been in this game, and it feels about like 5-1, but I am not for sure.
I would say it's 5.
Yeah,
to
5-1.
Yeah.
Because they were
Like
minus
6-2,
2
yeah,
5
with
to
the
1
two
and
are
5 to 1
5
and
to 1
yeah.
with the match.
in
yeah.
power plays.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. And they've given up 2 power play goals, scored 1 power play goal?
Michigan has,
Yeah.
and Wisconsin has 1 as well.
2?
2.
I believe they have 2, yeah.
Yeah, barely. Well, I will say about that, I mean, we had an incident last week with Truscott at the end of the game.
Yes.
And,
The light up of
yeah.
the guy coming
And
through.
that hasn't really been a staple of his game in the 15 years he's been at Michigan.
Like cheap shots or?
No, just
hits?
Big hits.
Yeah.
I mean, he's never really been that sort of player. And now we've seen a couple of them, but, oh boy,
Uh-oh.
right off the draw.
Did he get it?
Great save.
Wow. Jeez, what even happened there? Just did not stay in front of him at
Well,
all?
the puck got drawn back, and the guy
And no one went to get it?
read it really
Oh,
well.
he just had a good break.
Got back-to-back turnovers.
This,
Danny Wolf and Vlad Golden in back-to-back possessions.
And layups. This feels like a burn the tape. I'm not sure what you can really. I mean, what do you want? You've
Yeah, I mean,
basically made a tape of horrific fundamentals across the board. What are you going to learn from watching this? Don't do any of these things. There's a 3 from Trey. So what are they, 2 for 1,100 now? 2 guys go down the corner. Oh, blocked out. It's a clear.
and you have a weekend to process this before Penn State at home on Monday, right?
You sure you don't want to go?
But it's a test, right? This is the first blowout loss. It's a couple losses now and struggling in several games in a row.
Yep.
I think that's the bigger thing. You're starting. Michigan was. That was.
Thought he had a contact there.
He might have.
Threw it off the side
I
of
mean,
the backboard.
That was.
Corpy's been really solid.
He's been fine, yes.
Steady, composed. I mean, he's helping his team out while they can't stop taking
Penalties.
deeply stupid penalties.
Or really doing a whole lot on the offensive end. They're scoring goals on their few shots, but I would.
Well, I mean, they've definitely been outplayed at 5-on-5, but in part 5-on-5 in this game has been the sections in between Wisconsin power plays.
That's been true.
And I mean, they're lucky that the refereeing crew in this game is competent because they might not have gotten that power play with a different crew.
With
the Duke, situation. And I think
Right.
it's good for Duke to retaliate there.
And there's a chance one of the goals gets pulled off the board.
Yes.
Because you could
Yeah.
call. I mean, if
Yeah.
you're just
I think
looking at
this has
certain
been
things.
a great game
Yeah.
by the referees.
Yeah, they haven't been particularly poor at all. I would say that Michigan is in good position to kill this off, but I do not believe that. There are still 2 seconds.
2 seconds.
So
Plenty of time.
you get off 2 shots in that amount of time. Wait, Aiden, what?
Lindenwood.
Lindenwood
won.
beat Notre Dame?
No surprise.
No surprise.
No surprise. We all saw that coming.
Alex is like Lindenwood,
Hey, I was the guy.
Long Island, Stonehill.
My prediction before the season in the season preview was Notre Dame would finish last in the Big Ten.
You did.
Unfortunately, Penn State,
State is, well, I don't know.
denying me that.
Aiden,
but
give us a Penn State score.
Penn State lost, I think, right? 6-5.
What? Be nice to get through the end of these last couple of minutes here with the lead and regroup, and then
Nope, they scored with an extra attacker with 15
Nope,
seconds.
6-6.
what? Penn State tied it, and now they're in overtime.
6-6.
Hey, okay. I mean, that's fine.
Fine with me.
Yeah,
Didn't we have a 12-6 game with them this year?
10 to 6.
10-6.
I was here for that. That was a fun one.
That was.
They just kept coming.
Well, partially in that particular Penn State game, Penn State was using their.
There were also
couldn't have been a scholarship goalie.
Wasn't there a
but
5-minute major too that Michigan scored a bunch of times on?
at the very end? I
Yeah.
think, yeah.
Morrissey takes it away on the boards. Evan Morrissey, the freshman, lost it in the corner. Comes to Dexheimer, over to Hensler, his shot.
It does feel like Michigan is struggling just to retain the puck.
Yeah.
Like when you're watching it at all, it's not like Michigan can't get a good look on net, but they're not keeping the puck. Wisconsin pretty much has the puck, which feeds into what we were talking about their Corsi percentage. But
Well, they're definitely losing in the neutral zone.
Michigan,
Yeah.
and they're just throwing the puck away.
Yeah,
I mean, they get to the blue line and it becomes like a bomb or a hot potato, and you're just like, get this out of my hands as fast
Well,
as
I mean,
possible.
Wisconsin's placing a lot
Pressuring.
of pressure on them, and that's what these last 2 minutes have been.
I mean, it just feels like, okay, 1 minute left. Let's see if you can get to the third period here and then figure it out.
But we've seen a number of Friday games where Michigan is definitely overwhelmed and then
Yeah.
also loses 6-0. And so
I mean-
if you're overwhelmed and you win 4-3, that's...
Those games generally are against, really good teams.
Well, you remember what I said a few weeks ago was that Michigan hasn't gotten a ton of ugly points this year.
Yep.
These would be ugly points if you get something out of this game.
Well, shots are 35-14 now, so yeah, this is what Michigan has had a tendency over the last few years to do to other teams. Yeah, everything is just a chase. Oh, ooh, good stick there. Who was that? Horkoff. Find it.
And
All right,
that's it.
end
Well,
at 2, 4-3.
Gentlemen, I have bad news.
Yeah.
Period's over, which means we have
We
no
have to
choice but to talk about the basketball game.
So, have you started softball practice yet for?
I need
for
to. I
April?
mean, I'll hit up my friend Bonnie and see what she can teach me. How to catch pop flies, how to swing a baseball bat.
Hey, I saw you make one really good catch. Well, you caught it, and
I caught it.
You kept it off the ground.
Catch
But,
I ever saw.
The greatest catch Craig's ever saw. And he's
Craig
seen
is-
a lot of catches.
well, maybe not if that's the best one he's ever seen.
Oh, my
Oh,
goodness.
well, Trey Donaldson just murdered a cameraman, it looks like. Or was that the stanchion?
No, he does look different. Trey Kaufman-Wren.
Yeah.
No more dreads.
No more dreads.
Explains a lot, because for a guy who's been around a couple of years, I did not quite recognize him. Now I know why.
Will you be at the women's game tomorrow, Alejandro?
I will be at the women's game. Good chance to plug that. It's Michigan State.
It's a big game.
Crash Chrysler is, I believe, how they're promoting it.
Craig is going, supposedly.
I'm gonna go in.
They got a big win the other night against Minnesota.
They did.
Is Minnesota good, or did they just have
They
a big
were
win?
ranked. They were ranked. Yeah.
Minnesota's a solid
Okay.
team, like MSU. This was a big week for them just because we're seeing them play teams that are actually on their level.
Yeah.
Whereas the entire season they've either played punching bags or the literal, 5 best teams in America. And it hasn't really resulted in a lot of close competitive games. But Minnesota was a one test of that, and MSU should be that as well tomorrow.
Yeah, it's been a fun team to watch. Obviously, you got the three freshmen,
Yep.
Silas Swords, Olivia Olson, and point guard whose name I'm
Mila
blanking on.
Holloway.
Yeah, Mila Holloway.
Yeah.
Silas Swords, honestly, for
Well,
like she's been
Swords is great, and she's the name that
Right.
people nationally would know about the team. But there are definitely games where you watch, and Olsen is the
Oh,
better
yeah,
player,
absolutely.
or Holloway has a big game, and so it isn't all just sort of one star player right now.
It's fun basketball. They play five guards a lot of the time. They're
Mostly,
starting.
yeah.
They start those three. They got Jordan Hobbs, who's
Hobbs is technically the
technically
five,
center,
but-
right?
I
And
mean,
then
she's 6'3", so she has size, but isn't really a traditional big. And
then they rotate in. Is it Greta Camp Schrader, who's
She's-
former
she's-
McDonald's All-American?
Yeah, she starts with.
She
Hobbs,
starts it, yeah.
And then they rotate in Yulia Grabaskaya as the
Yep.
traditional big, and then
Maybe two programs, two Russian centers.
yeah. Well, and they have Delphos, the freshman, as well off the bench,
Mm-hmm.
who has some size, but she was hurt to start the year, if I remember correctly, and has just been starting to mix in. But the Big Ten's a really good conference this year in women's basketball. I mean,
Well, you add in the Pacific programs.
when I
and-
wrote the piece the other day, I think they had 11 of the top 39 in net.
Wow.
So no breaks.
Yeah, I mean,
in
yeah.
the
and
schedule. Yeah, well, especially 'cause-
USC, right, and UCLA are both
Right.
excellent programs.
Well, and they scheduled South Carolina and
Right.
Oklahoma in the non-conference, so strength of schedule is, and that's the thing about, they started their Big Ten slate second, third games with the SoCal trip,
Yeah.
and then they played Ohio State right after it. So when I was looking at Minnesota, for example, it's like these guys are 5-1 in the Big Ten. They haven't played any of those teams, and Michigan played them all right off the bat. So the schedule will level out a bit. It's not nearly as hard to finish, although again, there's still a lot of tough games. They play at MSU in a couple weeks as well. I think they go at Maryland later on, who's really good too. So
Yeah, I did think that Ohio State game was a bit of a missed opportunity.
It really was.
They were blowing the doors off them in the first half.
well, they
and
shot the lights out
Yep.
from 3 to start, and then the Ohio State turned up that full court press.
yeah,
and
which they're known to do. That's one of their calling
yeah.
cards.
But MSU tomorrow, I believe, is the other team, right near the top of the country in turnovers forced alongside Ohio State. So that'll be an interesting storyline, just to see if they can. I don't know how MSU tactically gets those turnovers, whether it's a press or pressuring in the half court, but that'll be something to monitor after the way the Ohio State game went.
Yeah, but I mean, quietly, like this has been Michigan has built up its program over the last few years under Kim Barnes-Arico, but Michigan State has historically been the dominant women's basketball program in the state of Michigan.
Well, this was their best recruiting class basically ever.
Yep. So you want to continue taking those next steps as a program. Michigan is women's basketball, one of the only varsity sports on campus, maybe the only varsity sport on campus that hasn't won a conference title.
Yeah.
They have never won the Big Ten. Obviously,
yeah.
like
Did they ever win the Big Ten tournament?
They have not that I'm aware of. They're frequently very bad in the Big Ten tournament, like surprisingly so. Obviously, they've had some success in the NCAA tournament. They made a couple Sweet 16s, the Elite Eight a couple of years ago.
The Big Ten was really good even then. I mean, they
Right.
finished, I think, second or third in the Big Ten with like their peak Nas team, but because Indiana was really good then.
Yeah.
Ohio State was pretty good, and
Obviously, in Iowa.
Iowa was becoming good. I remember that. Remember when Caitlin Clark dropped like 50 on,
Oh, that was
on us?
ridiculous. I was there. That was.
She was maybe a sophomore that year, freshman, sophomore.
I feel like,
That was
maybe this was my
Sophomore,
own.
yeah.
Yeah, that was Nas's senior year.
Because she
I
played
think.
4 years, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could have had a fifth.
Could've had a fifth.
Because that was the game. I just remember why it's like, who is this person?
Yep.
And then
Yeah, I
very
don't know if it was
quickly
my
everyone
own
knew who it was.
ignorance that I hadn't
No,
heard
she
of her
wasn't. She
before.
wasn't like a big. I mean, she was known in the Big Ten,
Yeah.
but wasn't like a national star yet. Because
And that was the night she was on SportsCenter. Like
Yeah,
it was ridiculous. She was hitting logo threes. She put up like 40 points in a very close loss.
Yep.
In a game Iowa had no business being anywhere close to being competitive in.
Did Michigan win that game?
Michigan won that
They
game.
did
Yeah,
win
Michigan
that
beat
game, yep.
Iowa that game.
Nas put up 53.
Yep. That was Nas put up 50 plus against Ohio State in a loss. That was a different game. She put up a lot in that game against Iowa, where Caitlin Clark's coming out party, but Michigan beat Iowa that game. They were up pretty big in the third, and then just Caitlin Clark went off. That's another
Jeez
turnover.
Louise.
It's bad. It's 74-47. Michigan has
What,
not only shot off the side of the backboard, but thrown many balls out of bounds.
I mean, this is just hopefully a low point. I don't know. It just feels like I'm not sure how they could play a whole lot worse.
But it's
what area would you be like, I can see this getting worse? Not shooting. I suppose you could turn it over more.
I mean, effort's been there for the most part. I mean, this is where I think it's the reason it's an important point in the season is because Michigan is now 3 straight games where they have not played up to their early season accomplishments. And this is a new team of new faces. They have no captains. Dusty May's they don't have captains. By Dusty May's, he didn't tell them to vote for captains. If the team wanted to, they could have. But it's a point where you have a lot of new faces who have come from different backgrounds.
They didn't know each other.
They didn't know each other, and it's the first stressful moment of their season. So it's a real, look at yourselves in the mirror and. Well,
and I think there was a lot of weird games. I mean, we'd talk on the podcast, and Michigan would win games, and Brian would be like, "Well, that's frustrating," and I was like, "That's kind of what I was thinking and feeling." It wasn't that you're not happy with the result, but that there's still enough things that are going wrong in games that you're still finding ways to overcome. And against Purdue, who's arguably the best coach team in the country, or right there, maybe behind UConn, Gonzaga, those kinds of teams, you can't get away with 15 turnovers.
Yeah.
And you have to shoot well. And if you go 3 of 20 from 3, which is where they're at right now, and you turn the ball over 15 times, guess what? You're probably going to get blown out.
Yeah.
And that's what's happening. Now, there also comes points where emotionally you have to be able to bounce back. And you have to sit there and say, you know what? Everybody loses games. You get blown out, and you have to get back in. The thing is that did they win any of those games sort of not in a lucky way, but more in an unrepeatable way, And we talked about them shooting really well and just getting hot at the right times. Well, is that sustainable, and can you continue to live that way if you give up offensive rebounds and you maybe don't get to line enough all the time, or you just can't make threes in a game?
Yeah. Hey, 3 for 20, if you're shooting that from 3, that's tough to overcome no matter what. But also, the 4 or 5 ball screen, which is such a staple early on this year, teams are figuring that out a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Teams are realizing if you force Danny Wolf to be a creator, if you take away his passing options, which he's so good at.
Yep.
If you can prevent him from getting the ball running downhill where he's a locomotive coming at you, and you can't, then you do limit his effectiveness.
Now you do have to have guys to do it. You can't just throw anybody on him. And I think Purdue is a good example. And even Northwestern, who isn't maybe a great team, but they're a pretty good defensive team.
And they're a veteran team.
That's another thing gave Michigan some troubles with that, and they couldn't take advantage of it as much at the other end. Although I guess it did go to overtime, but they couldn't take advantage of it and win, I should say. But that's just, I think it's sort of like when you get a rookie in baseball and then you see him a little bit, right? And all of a sudden pitchers know how to pitch to a guy.
Yeah.
Or you get some film on a pitcher and you're like, oh, this is what he likes to throw. And when he likes to throw it, then it's up to him to be able to adjust. And, Michigan's going to have to be able to do a few more things. And, having a ball handler not turn it over a lot or be able to get to the basket would be a nice thing. Well, I don't know that they have that. I mean, that's what led to the Wolf thing to begin with. But
Penn State and Ohio State are headed to a shootout.
Really?
For the extra point.
Well.
But it's a tie in pairwise, which is
that
decent
relevant
for Michigan.
Oh, because of Ohio State?
Ohio State's right ahead of Michigan in pairwise. So.
Well, here's hoping Penn State has some finishers. Aiden Fink?
Yeah, possibly. Penn State picks up the extra point.
Hey.
They win the shootout 1-0 in 3
I mean, that's
rounds.
good because,
that's fine with me.
From a Michigan standpoint, too, they're probably not winning the conference.
No.
They're probably not finishing second.
No.
But third place is on the table.
Yep.
And that's a big deal because, as we had discussed before on the Hockey Cast, you were going to either then get Notre Dame or Penn State at home in the first round of the quarterfinals. And, I mean, they can win. They better be able to win 2 of those 3 games.
Well, the frustrating thing about that in part is that if they, if Michigan had won the game in Wrigley in regulation, they would be ahead of Ohio State.
Right now?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Because that's a 6-point swing.
Right. And they had it twice. But turns out you have to finish the game in order to get credit for all the points. So
Notre Dame's down to 41st in pairwise.
wasn't that about where they were
What is
when we looked them up before?
What is the lowest a Big Ten team has finished?
I mean, Michigan in 17 was like, I want to say at one point they were 51.
What?
Wisconsin a couple years ago.
It's just really hard to fall that far if you are.
If you
a Big
play
Ten.
anyone.
Yeah. Let me look up.
Michigan in 16-17, I believe at one point dipped below 50. But
That's
I don't,
really hard to do.
well, they were pretty bad.
They finished that year 37th.
Michigan did?
Yeah.
They kind of got a little hot at the end and won a few games, but
Wisconsin was also 37th in 2023.
who's Jack Drury?
Jack Drury he was like a name as a prospect, but then hasn't really done much in the NHL.
What is he, a 4C?
I think he's a 4th liner for Carolina, but I haven't really followed him too closely.
It's actually not Kotkaniemi. It's Jack Drury.
They struck him from the deal, which thank God.
You wouldn't want him?
No,
You don't like him?
no.
Okay.
Teams for some reason do, but
Well, and he's signed for the next, half decade.
until the end of time.
Any relation to the Drury Hotel chain?
Nice! I'll give you a fist
There we
bump
go.
for that one.
Thank you. Oh boy.
Oh boy,
Just
that's gonna go out of bounds.
right when they'd cut it to a manageable 21.
They haven't gotten it under 20, have they?
No, they got it to 21 here and then went back to 24 with Lawyers 320.
All right. Well, we're a minute into the third.
Oh, hockey's back. Let's go.
Yep.
Yeah.
Final jaunt here.
Good pass, Horkoff. Oh, there's a rebound right.
Oh,
New Scarfoni went the wrong way.
new scarf.
Grammy? Is it Grammy? Is Pappy behind him, or is it just Grammy? No?
Nope.
Tough crowd.
One chat commenter says one open storyline for this game, though. Vlad hasn't gotten hit in the junk yet, and that's still possible. Mark asks, Alex, please lie to us and say we are going to sign Gavin McKenna.
I mean, hockey's playing out. I mean, I don't know.
I mean, look, if Gavin McKenna decides to go to college, I would assume Michigan will be right at the top of this list because they always are. I mean, Hagens came down to Michigan and BC. Like, that's generally the way it goes. And
would be nice to have Hagens this year.
it's possible that, McKenna being a Vancouver kid might not want to go as far as the Boston schools. So that could be useful. Celebrini did. So
Probably going down to Arizona State.
Yeah, he could. Yeah.
Maybe UNLV. Aren't they getting a team?
Ice Devils have been on a roll.
Ice Devils been great this year.
Just depends probably on how much he wants to pretend to go to school.
If he's Cardale Jones or not.
By the way, did you see the Terrion Arnold thing this morning?
I did not, but Aiden is laughing, so it must be good.
He fell down his stairs.
Yeah, Terrion Arnold tweeted out a video from his in-home security camera of himself in the middle of the night falling down the stairs.
Is there a joke to this, or
it's just deeply funny to watch someone fall down the stairs
and
posted himself. Interesting.
Hey guys, I'm starting NFL quarterback. Want to see me take a dive?
The best part.
Oh no.
I need to see the Brian Cook tape.
Yeah.
All right. There's a 3-pointer, a corner 3
The
for
best
Sam
part
Walters.
is how he falls, and then at the end when he gets to the bottom stair, he just like hunches over and is just like, I'm gonna sit here for a while.
So it's like not that I'm hurt. It's
And-
more like all of my pride is hurt.
Yeah.
And you know what you do in that situation? You tell more people about it.
I mean, did you ever watch America's Funniest Videos?
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
sure.
It's very funny to watch people
That was,
fall.
that was,
Do you enjoy-
that was YouTube before the internet.
Do you
Exactly,
enjoy
that was-
watching people take dives?
If you were 6 in 2005, that was the funniest
Oh my
thing there
goodness.
ever was.
I mean, you could have been 6 in 1991 and think it was funny like the rest of us. Or me, anyway. You guys are all children.
Look at that little pass
Yeah.
by Reuben Jones.
Sam Walters. Well, hit way too many
That's-
threes already so far.
That out of bounds if it touches the top of the.
No, it has to go over.
Does it have to go over?
Yeah.
So we're 4 of 23 from free now. That's my head count.
Werner tried to bank that one in off of Hallam. Turns out that's hard to do.
That's a foul. That's a okay jump ball. We are
Well,
mercifully.
How far will this drop Michigan and Kempom?
I mean, what do blowout losses cost you in Ken Palm?
I don't know. How does the Kempom?
I'm guessing
Formula work,
we'll
isn't
go
it?
down about 2 or 3 spots.
I mean, right now they're underperforming the line by
Right.
what, 22?
Yeah,
That was
That's-
three or four.
Sometimes that can really
Yeah.
nuke you. Remember in the COVID year when they blew out Wisconsin by like 30 or 40, and it jumped us up Kempom like 10 spots?
That was the good team, right?
Yeah.
That was the.
Remember they played Wisconsin like in early January, and
Yeah.
Wisconsin
And
was supposed
blitzed
to
them.
be decent, and
Yeah.
they just ran them off the floor.
I got served
Oh.
a highlight video from that game on YouTube a couple weeks ago.
Oh, wow.
Just out of nowhere, yeah.
The Cowboys are promoting Schottenheimer.
Cowboys have promoted Schottenheimer.
We're just breaking
Why?
news all over the place tonight. Is it Brian Schottenheimer? Not Marty.
Marty is deceased, I think.
Oh, did he? Oh.
Oh, we're breaking that too.
Alex is just reading the obituaries. We've gotten to that point of the watch along. Shots are 40-14. Holy cow. 16-11 to go in this hockey game, but Michigan is somehow holding on 4-3.
Playing the Bemidji script right now.
I'll tell you what. That is
What a save.
that is
Heck of
a
a save.
pass from Trey. Oh, this is going up. Eventually.
now.
Trey
It's going up.
Trey Donaldson hits a massive 3 to cut the deficit to 27.
Yeah, every time they make a 3 now, which is not very often, that I just think, oh, maybe they're not making any progress. Only 3 minutes to go, though.
all
I
right.
don't think anyone is still.
We're
My
in
guess.
walk-on time?
Ready for this?
Hmm.
I think more people are watching us than are watching this basketball game. Do you think there are 56 people watching this basketball?
I think there's
There's
a
probably
fair
56
number
Purdue
of people
fans.
who like fell asleep and like didn't realize it was still
Okay.
on.
There are probably some pets watching us after the owners left. to-
They're out at a
yeah,
steakhouse
to
or
get
something,
her,
and
you know, they just left it on.
and
the
if they're
YouTube.
Michigan fans, they're like, Martini number 2, please. Maybe 3's on the way. But not if you're a hockey fan. I think that should be the narrative if Michigan hangs on here, is that Brian walked out on a hockey win
Yeah.
watch along.
Well, that's just what we'll say constantly.
Absolutely.
Someone says, "You guys are the best. I wish you'd do a walk along every game."
We I try to
I
get
assume
out.
That means watch along, but
I try to get a few miles in every day, if possible. But a watch along every game?
a watch
We'll
along.
bring treadmills
yeah,
in next
while we're
time.
on treadmills.
Yeah.
Bring in
So a Peloton.
like the rows at the gym where you just see them just be gassed and just walk.
You got to
Well,
bench press a couple times
Alex
before
and
you
I
can
will.
talk.
Alex and I will probably do another watch along. I can't speak for Brian at this rate, but
Hey,
Alejandro's
you might have to deal with me.
Hey, Alejandro's been fine.
Thanks.
Been very good.
Thank you so
You've
much.
been bringing some energy.
It's the Kirkland brand beer that I'm currently consuming.
On number 4, is that what you said?
Deschutes
Did
Brewing.
you ever do a radio show like when you
No, that was never my thing.
No. In any context or whatever? You've been on podcasts?
I've been on radio. I was on NPR during the Dave Brandon debacle. Yeah, they wanted a student voice.
Oh, like an interview.
Yeah, like an interview. Yeah, I was
okay.
on. I think All Things Considered, which is a really big program for them to bring someone on like me.
Well, what's his face? Our buddy Raj, right? He got in the Wall Street Journal.
Yeah.
A week or two ago.
Oh yeah. That's right.
He said he was gonna drop MGoBlog. He was gonna mention
Yeah.
MGo. Did that show up in the story? It was paywalled, so I
don't
didn't.
know.
Yeah, I didn't.
No way.
I didn't check it.
Okay.
No way to know.
Sue usually reads that stuff, but she's
They
meandered
carry
off.
it at Myers. You could have gone and picked up the copy at the newsstand.
Wait, like in 1992?
Yeah.
Did you? Well, you get the USA Today, don't you?
No.
Wow.
You get only when you stay in certain hotels.
My former employer.
Yeah.
Really?
Kind of unpaid intern.
For the USA Today.
They do have the best puzzle page.
Well, that's kind of what I meant,
Yeah.
right? You get it before road trips. Not that you do while you're driving, mostly.
Wow.
Oh, there's a good save.
Gene Katie.
Oh, wow.
There he is.
You know, I don't think I would have recognized him.
I feel like he should be on the Mount Rushmore
Well, I guess I might have because it says Katie on the side of his hat.
and on the court.
Well, okay, but that doesn't.
He should put his face down there too.
Okay, if you did that, then yes.
Instead of the P logo, just
Would
his
they-
face.
That's.
Speaking of honors, did you see who is getting a statue tonight? Was announced.
Is this Michigan related?
No.
Okay.
Baseball.
He
threw a perfect game.
Jim Abbott.
Nope. Nope.
Dallas Braid. Nice. David Wells. Oh, Cece.
I don't think he threw a perfect game.
Oh, he threw a no-hitter. Well, he's getting a statue in
He's getting a plaque.
Cooperstown,
in
right?
Cooperstown.
A bust?
A plaque.
Oh, they don't do busts?
No, that's football.
That's the NFL?
Football.
Okay. Well, he's big enough to play in the NFL.
Yeah, he is.
Is it Galarraga?
No. It's Mark Burley
Oh.
getting
Mark
one
Burley.
outside of the White Sox Stadium.
Well, he was on...
Which is
there.
called what?
Uh-oh. Oh, okay.
Guaranteed rate field now.
Is that what it is?
Is it guaranteed?
It was
Is
once-
it just rate? It's just rate.
It should be like
They
low rate
dropped the
field, right?
guaranteed.
Oh. It was U.S. Cellular for a long time. My belief is if you get a corporate sponsor, you can only have one.
Oh.
Ooh.
Moldenauer. He
Yeah,
did
there
something.
Was a look, but
Well, he should have shot it, shouldn't he? As opposed to...
Worldwide Vince texted and said he was also in the Wall Street Journal, which not that surprising, but I think it was a photo. I think it was the App State game, which, or it was either that or the Football Armageddon. I can't remember.
dating yourself.
Well, no, I try to date other people.
Mark says, Alejandro, the video you took of Michigan entering the horseshoe is amazing.
Yeah,
Thank you, Mark.
That was good. I actually
That
just
was cool.
rewatched that the other day.
It was.
And I was like, and even as they're walking in, I was like, no way we're winning this one.
Yeah. It's a fun job. Very cool to experience things like that, and happy to be able to share that with other people. I took videos like that at every single road game this year. It just happens that they lost every other road game this year.
Just go in the delete bin.
Yep.
Nope. Well, Grammy has a 317.886 save percentage. Yikes. I think they need to beat him at least once here, Alex. Of course, I don't know how many shots they have on him. Maybe 4?
3 or 4?
Yeah, not many.
Well, and they're not probably going to press a ton.
Not on, yeah.
You know what Michigan needs? Michigan needs better gas stations. As I look at Quick Trip logos here on the sideboards of the Kohl Center.
Quick Trip is nice.
Quick Trip is nice, you know, and
Buc-ee's, I heard.
Buc-ee's are great.
Yeah, Buc-ee's, I heard, is the place to go.
Pistons were just raiding a Buc-ee's the other day.
Raiding?
Yeah.
Did they get arrested? Or rating?
Right, no, raiding. They went to a Buc-ee's.
And they
all
took a bunch of stuff?
And they bought a bunch of stuff and took their photos and
Can we clear the puck here, or is it just going to always just be around the net?
They've put a Pistons jersey on a Bucky's, like the mascot.
It's a beaver, I think.
Yeah.
Right?
Bucky Beaver.
Bucky. So there's a Bucky Beaver and a Bucky Badger.
Yeah.
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 Is that how that
is
goes?
true.
Okay.
Spelled differently, but yes.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah.
No, but for being Motor City and the car history, I do feel like
We don't
the
really
state
have,
of Michigan
we don't
needs
really
like
have any distinctive gas
right, like you
stations.
get like
We ju- we-
Sheets, you get Come and Go, you get
Yeah.
you get Bucky's or Quick Trip. Like Michigan doesn't have that, and I feel like they do. I want a place that has clean bathrooms
Yes.
and that has a beer cave.
A beer cave.
And
What if there's a party store next door? Does that count?
it doesn't, you know.
Okay.
It needs to be a one-stop shop. This is America. Like I don't.
I am
wanna
not
do any
going
more
next
walking
door.
than
Yeah.
I am
need
not
to.
opening a second door.
We have
hey,
gas stations.
we're doing a walk along right now, so I'm not buying into what you're saying.
We have gas stations with Tim Hortons in them, though. There's the one on
There's one-
Zeeb, and there used to
There's
be the
one on State, right? Or is that, or not State? Eisenhower and Maine.
That one isn't. There's no Tim Hortons.
There used to be.
anymore. Yeah, like 10 years ago.
Hey, there's a shot on net for Michigan.
Up to 18, is that? Wow.
Well,
19.
19
How
now.
about that?
But like you said, who knows what if this shot counter is even real?
Alejandro, did you ever go to the Kenosha Cheese Castle?
I have never been to the Kenosha Cheese Castle.
You ever thought about going?
I am now. It sounds like that'd be a fun time.
Yeah, I would recommend it. All the cheese you can find in a medieval castle. Just right-
Sold.
If you're driving from Chicago to Milwaukee, there it is.
Oh, oop. Oh, man. All right, we're in the final merciful 100 seconds of this men's basketball game with Sam Walters dribble driving. Always a successful endeavor.
Hey, I think did he hit the rim? I think he hit the rim.
I think he did. He stepped out of bounds. Yeah.
So this game was like 20 points really quickly and literally never got closer.
It was 10 points in the first
2 minutes.
2 minutes,
And then
maybe?
it was 20 within, 5 minutes?
Something. That was when Brian originally threatened to leave. And I was like, I think he's kidding. And then it didn't get better.
Oh, there's a
Alright,
three.
There's another
And
Sam
he was not
Walters
kidding.
three.
So
I mean, good to see him get back in rhythm a little bit. Like you need.
he's a guy that, yeah, if he got hot a little bit in this game, I would be like, you know what, that's good going forward.
I mean, he's a young guy too. He's a sophomore, right? Coming from
Yep.
Alabama. He's
Didn't play a ton last year.
didn't play a ton,
Well, they were really good, so.
Right.
and you know he's still a stick, right? Like he's not, despite being 6'10", he's not a player who's very much of an interior presence.
Yeah, he looks kind of like one of those stick figures that you draw, like you said. A little bit.
Oh,
Oof.
boy. Kaysen's had some of the ugliest misses this year.
Well, the rest of the team has joined him in
Oh.
this game.
One more turnover for the road.
Get it up to 20.
Hey,
Oh,
there it
then
is.
throw it down.
Was he just he just slowed down when he went into that?
Maybe we'll get a fight at the end of the game like in hockey.
If he makes both of these, they'll 1.5.
Michigan is up to 21 turnovers in this game. 21 turnovers, 20 field goals made.
What's the 3%?
Good.
They are
Oh,
shooting
man.
6 of 29 from 3. That's 20.7%. 5 of 13 in the second half.
Yeah, that's okay.
18 for 21 from the free throw line, which
It's okay.
honestly, like for a team that struggled a bit at the
Yeah.
stripe earlier this year, is not nothing.
How many silver linings can we find? Are there plural?
The silver linings are actually bright neon yellow, and they're fighting cancer, so you can't make fun of them.
That is true.
Gus didn't really get any opportunities to scream in the
Whale.
game.
Well, I'm glad that's the one positive that we can take away from this game.
I will say, I generally enjoy Gus Johnson. I thought his Ohio State call this year was terrible.
He's starting to lose it a little bit,
Yeah.
but I think the biggest problem was he got elevated to slots that are too high for him. Like, he is the greatest, first round of the NCAA tournament in Spokane, Washington broadcaster, right? Like, That was when he became a cult hero. Remember when
Yeah.
he called like a Jags Hail Mary, like games no one is watching, and he made them fun.
Yeah.
And then eventually it was like, well, we got to promote this guy to the biggest games in the sport, and it's like, yeah, sometimes we don't need that level of enthusiasm.
He's great at the games that you fall asleep watching. So
Yeah,
he wakes
Yeah.
yeah, he wakes you up during a bad game.
It's turnover 22. Yes, it is. All right, your final score from West Lafayette will be Purdue 91, Michigan 64. A game that, if you are still paying attention to us, you probably know was over a long time ago.
Hey, we've gone up a couple viewers. People must be watching hockey.
The game didn't feel that close.
Yeah, the game, as Craig mentions, did not feel that close despite the, was it 27-point final deficit?
Yep.
4 straight wins for Purdue against Michigan. Michigan will have their chance at the Chrysler Center
Hey, I got a silver lining.
February 11th,
February 11th.
I believe.
Dusty May's team did so badly against Purdue, Indiana won't have interest. This is what he does against their rival.
Yeah, and that's the selling point. Or that's Michigan's selling point.
We'll
Probably
send-
not his.
We'll send Indiana a tape of this game.
Is he losing by 50 to Illinois next?
Is he-
Possibly. I mean, Illinois isn't really a Indiana-specific rival.
Hasn't really been a great offensive chance for Wisconsin in this third period, and that's a testament to Michigan.
Yeah, I mean, Wisconsin hasn't gotten a ton of looks in this period. It's been a pretty low event period so far. Some of that is no penalties, unlike the previous periods.
We're rejoining Hockey Talk now with 8:30 to play in the game. Michigan up 4-3. Badgers out shooting the Wolverines 40-20 on a maybe slightly cooked shot counter,
Yeah.
which is something teams notice. It's
Oh, yeah.
interesting. Like the
Well, Penn State, I mean,
Famously.
Nate Wells is always talks about that, where he's like, you go to Penn State and you're going to get outshot by 20, but you probably aren't. And, shots go high over the net and the goalie blockers it away, and it's a shot. And you're just like, okay, that's not the definition of a shot. Our viewers are going up now that we've stopped watching basketball. Should have been doing that earlier.
It is interesting. I mean, and teams have every reason to do it. Statisticians have every reason to do it, right? Is you want...
I mean, but what you need then, I mean, obviously it's college hockey, so
Right.
literally no one
No,
cares.
but it's across sports. I mean,
But you need like unbiased guys. Like
Sure.
you don't need local guys that are for your team.
But it
doing
is the
'cause-
local guys doing it.
Well, it
that's
is.
the thing, and that's the truth across college sports, including football, including basketball.
Bart and Bob.
Is the statisticians for home and away are the home people. So you want your Michigan State basketball assists, which are always super high. You want
Is that it?
that is the
Oh
thing.
man, that one I hadn't heard of that one.
Like Michigan, and I know this because I talked to the people who are involved in it. They were upset with the way that I think it was Illinois logged, whether it was pass breakups or whatever it was in the game this year. And, those things ultimately affect, maybe all Big Ten awards or whatever it is. That does matter. Again, sideline reporter for BTN Plus. It's a good amount of production effort there. Multiple camera angles. We've had replays.
BTN Plus,
BTN Plus.
BTN minus,
It's what.
or have they been switched to Plus because they added a sideline reporter? All right, 8:03 to go. Center ice face off.
See, what's interesting to me
8:02,
too.
1-0, under 8 to go. What were you saying?
Very, very important hockey talk is that BTN brands itself as BTN. Big Ten Plus brands itself as B1G Plus. I don't know why. You feel like it would be standardized.
I have zero expectations from that crowd. Oh, Whitelaw. Okay.
Oh!
good look.
Oh!
Where'd it go? I didn't see it. Did you just say grandma?
I heard
It might be Grandma.
Oh my gosh, it can't be. Like you'd have to change the pronunciation if your last name was Grandma.
Tell me there's a chance they don't win a game against Grandma.
I'm telling you what, we could beat you with Grandma and net. Craig, flip the heat, would you? It's getting a little chilly back here.
Peter asks, what arena or stadium has the best food for the media?
Okay, if we're talking at the University of Michigan specifically, Yost Ice Arena is better than the Big House, is better than Chrysler
Wait,
Center.
really?
Yeah.
I mean, I could believe better than Chrysler,
Do
but
they serve waffles anymore at the Big House or Chrysler?
They at the Big House, especially a couple of years ago when Michigan had all those BTN or
Yeah,
all those
Fox,
those
yeah.
big noon kickoffs. Like it's always breakfast food.
Yeah, but the waffles specifically.
Not-
They were the greatest waffles there ever was.
They-
better than Waffle
no, they-
House?
Like 2018, 2019.
They did not serve those waffles.
Oh, man.
They served a lot of powdered eggs turned
Society
into.
Oh.
is
Yeah.
finished.
That's like it's like hotel eggs.
Yeah, not great. In terms of across games I've covered, in the Big Ten, I'd say Penn State is very high up there.
Really?
Reason for that being is that I think they changed it this year, but before this year they had an ice cooler of their State Creamery ice cream.
3-on-1
Oh, yeah.
here. Maybe. Nope. Shifsky kind of lost it. Now they're just going to dump it in. Okay.
I was
Go on
there-
with your ice cream.
I was there for the Ronnie Bell drop game,
Mm.
and they had a good meal. It
Yeah.
was like a good Italian, multiple courses, salads, bread, the whole thing. That was fine. Notre Dame's was fine. Were you there in 18?
I was there in 14, and I don't remember it.
14?
Notre
Yeah.
Dame was.
You
The
would have been
shutout.
there in 13.
13, the shutout, whatever the shutout was.
Yeah, that was.
Wait, at Notre Dame,
was
14.
14.
Yeah. I was there.
Maryland served Chick-fil-A, which was fine.
Well, that's not bad.
Rutgers, I heard, served prime rib at the 78-0 game. I don't know if you were at
I
that.
was not at that game.
I never went to Rutgers, so I don't know. But
I'll tell you, the worst in the Big Ten by far is Michigan State.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
because you have to get coupons.
Because they give you
Because
the
they give you
coupons.
meal
Yeah.
coupons and like your options are
Hot
the
dog.
barest bone like stadium fare.
or pretzel,
Purdue-
and you have to pay extra for the cheese.
Yeah.
Purdue was really good when I went in 17. They had redone their press box and the whole kind of the stadium, and they just had a lot of like burgers and hot dogs, and they even like burned the word Purdue into the hot dogs.
That's pretty
I
cool.
took a picture of
That's
that.
solid.
It's like
Yeah.
one of my if I were to redo college, and please no one share this with any police, I would absolutely
Uh-oh.
steal one of the waffle makers from the
from the
Michigan, like,
cafeterias?
cafeterias, yeah,
Yeah.
that-
With the
that do
M
the
in it?
block M. That's
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
cool.
It is pretty
And you
neat.
can't get those anywhere. And
I mean, you probably can there. Just wait till they resell them or something.
Well, we have to talk to Steve Sinelli.
We got a guy in
We got a guy.
property disposition here. Disposition? Is that right?
yeah, Dispo. It's like
Yeah,
Dispo Direct.
that's
is
right.
their website. All right, 5 minutes to play in this hockey game.
Find it. Oh, no, it
Oh.
went in the net, and
Oh,
that
boy.
counts. Oh, my God. That's terrible.
Michigan.
Every single time they've come down the wing and Corpy's got to be on his post,
No,
just like, oh boy.
Well, did you see this one?
Yeah, well, it bounced off him, and then
Well, it stays in front, and then it just like.
Oh, good Christ.
I mean, that's not.
That's awful.
That's really bad. I mean, that's just. I don't even know who hit that one in. It could have been.
could have been anybody.
It could have been Corpy.
Yeah, I mean, I'd take a long look at this,
Like if it's a kick.
or a GI. The
Oh.
guy runs into him, but I don't think there's enough there really. But now the feel of the game definitely changes.
I mean, now you can't sit back.
Yep. I mean, honestly, watching some of this game, it seems like Corpy at times has been better at preventing rebounds on high danger chances than some of
Yes,
those
that is
lobs
true.
at the net.
That is true. He's made a number of good saves, but that's kind of in some ways Corpy this year, where he's been solid in a lot of
Yeah.
situations where you're like, "Oh, that's a good save. That's a
Yeah.
good save." And then some of the ones that get through, you're like, maybe he wants that one back." I mean, that was more maybe towards the beginning of the year. He
Yeah.
started with a couple
Yeah.
of those, but for that to be the tying goal is like, oh
Not-
my
not
goodness.
ideal.
Well, that's being diplomatic of you.
Didn't we blow a lot of 2-goal leads late last year?
Craig is asking if we blew a lot of 2-goal leads late last year. He's thinking of early in the year
Yeah.
when that happened in the fall.
Yeah.
At the end of the year, Michigan was actually pretty good at that stuff.
Well, at the very least, you need to figure out a way to get this to overtime.
Yeah. Well, they have how many shots in this period? About 4?
Yeah, something like that.
I did not expect them to just get worked like this. Of course, like if it is sort of the fake shot counter, then okay, maybe there's something to it. But the eye test also says
No, I mean they've
have not
absolutely
been
lost the territorial battle. There's
Yeah.
no question about that. But we've seen them get worked on Fridays a lot this year, so we'll see how they, what they can respond and come back with tomorrow.
And Wisconsin's been pretty aggressive.
Yep.
And that's kind of been a little bit of the book on Michigan for a few years now. I mean, they've adjusted to it at times, the more times that they've played different teams. But if you come out with a relatively aggressive forecheck, you can tie them up a little bit.
We're at 3:45 to play in the third period of Michigan-Wisconsin hockey, 4-4.
Yeah. Is that icing?
Icing, yeah.
Is it? Hmm. Oh, man.
Is this Iowa Penn State game live?
It is.
I think it
appears
is,
It is,
yeah.
yeah. A lot of Iowa fans unhappy with Fran McCaffrey these days.
Oh, boy. Jeez.
Oh, that's went in too. Wow. Did that go off a leg?
Corpy on that sequence is...
He just is
I was watching him that whole sequence.
Unhinged,
and
is
good
that-
grief.
just completely sort of lost his
Has no idea.
balance and yeah, that goes off of a defenseman's. I couldn't see. It looked like a 3, so it's probably Edwards' leg in front. I mean, I don't know what you do with that. Yeah, you want to be in better position, but like that's some puck luck there. Is he just out too far, expecting the shot?
That would be the argument there, yeah.
Problem is like if that's an actual shot and not a shot that misses the net by so much that it hits another defenseman, then maybe he has the angle right. But I guess when you shoot to bank, oh. So they still only have one power play, right? So
Yep.
it's like 5-1. I mean, you don't see those numbers a lot. Not that I'm arguing any penalties for Michigan. I think the ones that they took aren't necessarily arguable, but sometimes you get something. Edwards almost goes coast to coast there. That's a nice little play. Just couldn't hang on to the puck as he got in and around the net. Ooh, step in.
That was horrible.
It just is not knowing where to throw the puck. And that was Truscott, wasn't it?
I couldn't tell.
I think it was. He said Truscott.
Courtesy, Truscott. Marico. Passing gets that one clear again.
Well, it really felt like Michigan had done a pretty good job in the third period.
Yeah.
They
Well,
kept the game under control.
they survived the third period.
I mean, there wasn't a ton of Wisconsin chances
Yeah.
relative to the previous 2 periods.
Yeah.
And then they give up a goal, and then Wisconsin really
Well, in that
grabs
first
control of momentum.
and that first goal is so
Yep.
just. I mean, I don't really. There's not one person you really blame. I mean, that's one that Corpy just has to find and keep out.
Yeah.
And then this one is. See, and then he saves that, right?
Yeah.
Like the guy walks into the crease, and he's great, and he does everything right. It's kind of like when he has to react. It's better than when he has to think. I don't know.
Hughes, that one's deflected. 1:10 remaining. Corpy gives
Can't
it
even
to
get the
Edwards.
goalie out.
You gotta believe Michigan's gonna pull Corpy. This rush, but
These guys are predicting Michigan going to pull their goalie. The problem is when you don't have the puck, it's very hard to pull your goalie.
Corpy came out. A shot from distance. Corpy has to stay.
I mean, they haven't been able to gain the zone, so
Now Edwards with the puck. Crowd on their feet and roaring here in the goal center. It's Shifsky dumping it in. Corpy goes to the net. Or to the bench. The net is empty for Michigan. That one kept in by Truscott. Hughes down low for Morka. Over to Warren.
I mean, they're still struggling to keep and hold the puck at 6-on-5.
Now along the boards. Wisconsin is content to keep it there for a little bit.
How did they score 4 goals in this game? I can't. We're just going to let the clock run out as the puck just is under someone in the corner. Do we not blow whistles for this anymore? Is that just kind of frowned upon?
no, I mean, they.
Oh boy.
And that'll do it.
That'll do it.
I don't
I
think
don't
that's going to
think that
count.
count. I don't know
Oh,
if it
I don't
Yeah.
care.
Wisconsin wins either 5 or 6-4.
Yeah.
5.5.
So they have five minutes to go to get, and they're at the point where they're getting 3 points, and somehow they give up 3 goals in the final 5 minutes. That's pretty tough.
Up and down my body. This was one of the best hockey games I've ever seen. How was that game one of the standout games?
I don't. Do you have any closing thoughts for the evening?
Bad.
Are you gonna
No more watch-alongs ever.
go home and watch snuff films to fall asleep,
Watch
or
alongs.
Only walk-alongs
Only
from now on.
walk-alongs.
walk alongs? Hey, we could all use some exercise, right? So.
Craig Ross has a question. Craig,
he
hit us.
doesn't have a microphone, but so hopefully everyone can guess what his question is.
My question is this a little disappointing to be 3 years into Nerado?
He is.
Craig wants to know, is it tough to be so attractive among the three of us?
If
If it's disappointing for this
To
3
be-
years into the Brandon Nerado era.
I would say
That's
that
a
if you
good-
make the Frozen Four 2 years in a row, I would not be
That's a good
disappointed.
hockey cast debate question at some point in the year, depending on how it goes. But
I'll still stand by the back-to-back Frozen Fours, but
I would like to see a Big Ten regular season championship.
yeah, well,
at
we've
some
been
point.
waiting to see that for about 11
I
years
know.
now, so probably not going to happen.
NHL first-round picks
Yeah.
in 2 years.
Is that it, Alex?
yep.
All right.
Thank
See
you,
you
guys.
guys next time.